Hey, internets. Uh, Welcome back to Magic Fish Radio. I am slightly overcaffeinated, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen today. Yay! So overcaffeinated, I forgot that having more than 4 people on the screen meant I should really edit some of our boards. So this, yeah,
Eh,
I
if
d-
it works, it works.
I don't pretend to not be an amateur at any given time. So, all right. I hope some. I don't know if Arcane the Sage is around. If someone could tell us that they can hear us.
I turned on the sound from my end and everyone seemed audible, so.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, assistant slash player slash mod. Yes, I'm the GM, Ms. Chrysula. Today we will not be playing our typical Exit to Eden game, which is a World of Darkness in space. Instead, we have, and because I'm in the middle, 2 guest players. And I think everyone in this room this week is a Zoe fan, or at least Zoe knowledgeable. So we are playing Demon Hunters, a comedy of terror. Yay! Which, in theme with our usual game, Demon Hunters is like the World of Darkness, only it's funny on purpose. It is an interesting system that is a hack of Fate and Cortex, where you build an interesting dice pool and build aspects and justify using dice you shouldn't on a roll. If you can justify it to your GM, you can have it.
Sell
And
it.
yep, I have explained this how to play this game many times, and I think that's about all I need to really go over. I'm also not sure how much plot I have made as of yesterday, so let's get to as much gaming as possible, just in case.
There we go.
When in doubt, surprise combat. So, yeah, Arcane, hi! My best friends in chat!
Glad
My
to
only
see you,
local
Arcane.
friends in chat.
Hello.
Yay, hi! So yeah, we are still trying to claw our way to affiliate. So if y'all have friends that like weird amateur nerd streams, like, send them our way. Because I think the last thing we seem to need off the checklist is 50 followers. Whether or not we get it right after that, I have no idea, because Twitch sounds a little Byzantine when it wants to be. But yeah, that's us. Hi. So let's start with the new people and shove them up right in front and center to begin with, because they know them. So, also, please make sure to specify what pronouns I should use, because I forgot to ask that before the stream. So yeah, so Zardoz, who are you and who are you playing today?
My name's Matt. I go by Zardos pretty much everywhere on the internet. Today I'm playing Agent 1042, who is a divine manifestation of peacekeeping.
And in the big book of pregens, if you ever see us running this game at cons, you too can play this very interesting character, sometimes portrayed by Chris Odie.
Which stream was that? Dream.
Stream.
Dream.
The one with the Candy Witch.
So I was on hunt for it then.
I think
Anyway.
I actually watched that one.
I definitely did, because it's how I crammed learning this game in 2 weeks before the first time I ran it at Gen Con.
I mean, same.
Internet, so helpful. So Zardoz, what pronouns do you use?
He, him.
He, him? Okay. Person to my other side, Trix, who are you? And who are you
Hi.
playing?
I am Trixie Trix. I'm playing Ava Stresnin, and my pronouns are she, her.
Okay. Would you want to tell us about your character? Because you are not playing a pre-gen. You have actually built your own character.
I'm playing. I'm playing a wizard who uses a hockey stick as her wizard staff and a drumstick as her magic wand. She is very chaotic. She used to be a burglar, and she now uses those skills for good.
Did she and Shay happen to meet at college? Just wondering if they're forming a coterie of college-age demon hunters that do things unsupervised.
You know,
Could be.
I
yeah,
mean, there's no way
We
to tell for sure because they only do it when you're not looking.
we might have passed each other.
Hey, are you dead?
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it. Speaking of which,
Hey.
Drac, who are you and who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Dracus. I'm here usually. I'm playing Shay, who is a pseudo-living college student. I resurrected myself from a mess, and it was kind of a botched resurrection, so my soul isn't always necessarily tied very well to the flesh bag. Yeah. Both me and my character use they them pronouns, so there's that.
And Merc, who are you playing today? Possibly again.
Hi, I'm Merc. I'm playing Rien. Rien is an ex-spy. They were one of the top spies in the business, a freelancer, so secret that nobody knows what they look like or, much about them. It's all been redacted. But then they saw Crawling Chaos LLC and one of their things, and it really left an impression. So they came and joined the Brotherhood. And now they are in the Brotherhood. Though what chapter they are or who they're working with varies often. And you'd never know because they have one of those faces.
Do they actually have one of those faces or any face at all? The world may never know.
Nobody can remember. And that's the kicker, is that people see them and it's like, oh yeah, I've seen that face before, but they've never seen the face before, and then when the face is gone, they can't remember what it looks like,
Yeah.
And yes, again, I am the GM, Ms. Chrysala. Personally, I use she, her pronouns, but as I am playing everyone else in this game, use whatever pronouns are appropriate. Or yeah. It's cool. But yes, we may never know what chapter Rian is in, but ultimately it doesn't really matter in most of my settings, because we are back in New York City today, where your Theta 5 auxiliary chapter aspect is vigilante tourism. Because New York City is effed right now. See, it was always surprisingly quiet for such a large urban environment, because so many people come to New York City to just get away from whatever country or place they left behind and just want to live their lives, and that includes the supernaturals and even the demonic. So for a long time, there was, Theta 5 and maybe a couple Omega teams at any given time. In 2008, the city decided it's definitely worth billions of dollars and hundreds of man-hours to move the Washington Square fountain over 5 feet so it lines up perfectly with the arch, inadvertently disrupting a mandala that had been put in by the people who designed the park the last time. Because Washington Square is, by real-world local folkloric accounts, a hellmouth, as in the mouth of a hell river, and now it's awake. So for the last 10, 12 years, New York City has been amping up in demonic activity and other horribleness, but Theta 5 does not have enough boots on the ground to manage it. So weirdly, things work a little bit different in New York City, where Theta 5 is almost more of an advisory kind of council, and there are at least half a dozen to a dozen Omega teams putting out fires all over the city. Sometimes literally, sometimes metaphorically. Sometimes you wish it was a fire, because yikes. For this reason, Fran, one of the Theta 5 members, put together what they call the auxiliary team and the vigilante tourism program, where, hey, other demon hunters, we will sponsor a vacation in New York City if you'll come help us fight some demons. We'll get you Hamilton tickets. We'll get you restaurant reservations. We'll get you a decently priced hotel. Please help us. We have no money and no people. and we have been trying to get more senior teams added to our roster locally, but the Brotherhood is not immune to red tape. So this has been stuck in a council and higher up council bullshit for years. But yeah, so again, Fate hack. So y'all have effectively have the chapter aspects vigilante tourism, and we don't validate parking. Because they have no money. You're pretty sure getting Hamilton tickets is more about mystic arts than about finances. And we're just going to pretend this whole actual worldwide plague apocalypse isn't happening. Or just hasn't happened yet, because I don't want to deal.
But yeah, we don't validate parking. Is why the Fraggin' Wagon or any member of Chapter Omicron 11 is not welcome in New York.
It's not that they're not welcome. It's that, like, well, what could we do for you? Like, except just put you in kind of a nice parking garage for a week? Like, which is like, it's not that the car is unwelcome. It's just that we know you won't like it here. And we don't want to put you through actual hell before dealing with actual hell.
And you as the GM don't want to have to deal with,
So Fraggin' Wagon, you're in the parking lot for the next 5 hours. So, which is sad, because I also really like the Fraggin' Wagon. But, if maybe someone could run an Omicron 7 game
11.
on the stream, Omicron 11 game on this stream, I would be very happy to play my little not my haunted taxi cab, but the haunted taxi cab, because that's a fun chapter. Anyway. So,
we'll see.
So as per usual, y'all have arrived in New York City at LaGuardia Airport. And there is a very plain, rundown Mark III cipher, not a Mark IV, because we have no monies, and a beat-up, graffitied old van that used to be white, waiting for you at pickup. And you can see, those of you with a pretty good Mystic Arts score will see that there is a Brotherhood sigil. La-la! Oh, Blair. La-la! Mwah! I have my pretty book. This sigil is in... You sort of see it buried under the graffiti, and it's like, oh, okay, magic van. Not a sentient van, sadly, because those don't like it in this town. This is not a good town for driving. I don't know of many cities that are good for driving. Oh, hi, Fadir. Is a vacation promised during New York Comic-Con? Not this week, but maybe someday, because that's basically the only way I'm going to get to live out my convention needs for the foreseeable year until there's a vaccine, because my immune system hates me. Yay. A vampire show van. Very good, Arcane.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Shameful.
I need to write that now.
More puns. Give me more puns. I am the rare GM that likes it. Because maybe I like pain. Maybe that's why I'm a GM.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
So yeah, so y'all I assume you all get in the van.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, walking up, got my sword in hand. I'm like, hey, Cypher! Just, can we stop at a coffee shop between here and there?
There is coffee at the office.
I have
but before that.
But is that enough
on? There we go.
What is that, Trix?
Is that enough coffee at the office?
It's never enough. It's really good, though.
Not have too much coffee.
I want some coffee before we get to the office.
You got to pregame the coffee for the coffee.
Exactly.
I mean, the airport Starbucks are as good as any other Starbucks.
This is true.
So So
I suppose if you add Red Bull to it, you can't even taste the coffee.
sorry, Merc. It sounds like you've been replaced by a Cyberman. Are you okay?
Is it because I mean, am I still a little bit, or is it better now?
Better now.
It's better now.
Okay.
Sounds-
Also, just so you know, if two of you talk at the same time, we will only hear one of you, and I can't tell for sure which one. So
Fair.
try to space out your jokes and side comments, which are fine, but we will only hear half of them. So, or I can only hear half of them. I'll check the VOD later.
No, I'm pretty sure only half of them actually show up later. So, yeah.
Okay.
Wait your turn for the joke. Okay, that's gonna bug me.
Game. In character. So yeah, you get in the van. There's basically on.
There we go.
You know, he basically takes the long way around, and there's there's Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins type places. There's coffee shops of chains or stores you've never heard of before. But yeah, there's coffee in New York.
I acquire coffee then.
You acquire coffee.
There's no caffeine in the water like there's in Seattle, but you know.
Not usually.
I want to ask about that, but I also don't want to derail the game, so I'll just look it up later.
They pull around to you end up in a commercial block where there is a little parking lot in the back, and above a derelict dress barn is another level of offices, which is accessible by the back door of this out of this parking lot. Go up the stairs, you walk down the hall, and you again see this symbol carved into just no embossing, just carved into one of the very boring, generic looking wooden doors.
Subtle.
And you open, you walk through, you do not combust because you are all Brotherhood agents. Yay!
Huzzah.
And some of you have been here before, some of you have not. Fran's office is very plain. There's a door that, as far as you can tell, is actually on the outer wall. So probably a warehouse door. Yeah. Or a door to nowhere.
Or an escape hatch.
Or an escape hatch. A full kitchenette with a tiny oven and everything, and a full coffee service, and a whole spread of bagels and lox and cream cheese and schmear. Good bagels. The best bagels you will ever have. And I am very sad about that because celiac life. But I can never have the good bagels again. But you can in character. And quite good coffee. Bubbling away in a coffee pot. And also an espresso machine.
Fancy.
I'm going to help myself to a bagel.
It's a very old, clunky espresso machine that might be older than this building.
It's still espresso.
Mm-hmm. Whitefish. Yes, whitefish.
It was brought in expressly for this purpose.
Woohoo! I live again. The one thing that is kind of different about two of you have been here before, or at least we think Rian has been here before. It's kind of hard to track them.
Just like Rian, good to see you again. I think we have met before, right?
Good to see you.
Yeah.
You all happen to show up, and except for this time, Fran is not just the lady with the eye patch sitting behind her desk. She is standing up, one hand on the desk, the other on the phone. It's like, what do you want to say? What do you mean they're not there yet? And she is yelling at someone, or very, very close to yelling at someone on this phone.
It seems that someone is in trouble, and it's not us for once.
Thank God.
Well, anyway.
Top off my coffee, give Fran a look like, good, not good.
She just kind of like sees you and just like shakes her head. And just It's tough. Fran is or whoever sits at this desk is effectively the dispatch for demon hunters in the whole city. And that is usually held, in many towns that would be an Omega position, but here, because of the intricacies and problems of the New York City Theta 5 chapter, it is a Theta 5 member. Some of you might also notice that one of her legs is missing from the knee down. This does not seem to trouble her at all. So, would anyone like to do anything, investigating or anything, while Fran is yelling at someone on the phone?
Let's see. I would like to cleverly hack the phone line so I can hear the other end of the conversation.
I'll just allow that. Like, that's fine. You're
I'm gonna
gonna
come
find out
stand
what it
really
is when...
close to Rien and just like listen in.
Everyone get
No, they may or may not take off their shoe and do the shoe phone, but
do the group phone call.
yes, force me into the thing I hate more than anything, which is, if there's anything I hate more than watching NPC theater, it's playing NPC theater. So, what do you mean they're not there yet? Well, I'm sorry, man. It's like, it's a little crackly, it's a little staticky, but what you get from them is, well, we estimated it would take them about 45 minutes to get from there to here. It's been an hour and 45 minutes, so I'm checking in. Have you heard anything from any other agents? She's like, no, I have not, because you are the agents out there. He's
I
like,
wonder who they are.
can you please send us I have to hold the door open, so I can't leave and go look for them myself. Can you send more agents? Like, yeah, I can send more agents. Luckily, 4 of them just walked in, and you'll take whatever I can get for you, okay? Like, yes, ma'am. That is it. Like, whoever is on this phone is very much like, Fran is scary.
Timid.
Yeah, wrong.
And Fran isn't alpha scary, she's iota scary. The rumor is that she used to be, Demon Hunters has, a Greek letter and an Arabic number. Is that what we call it? Okay. Alpha are like, Alpha 1, there's only one Alpha team, and they're the best of the best, and they are terrifying, and they deal with reawoken dead gods and all of the worst things of the worst. Iota is, several rows down, but they are effectively internal affairs. So, how she ended up here, no one's really sure. But she does not seem to want to talk about it, and everyone is afraid to ask, so. But yeah, I will just say that basically it sounds like someone was supposed to deliver something from one point to another, and then they didn't show up on time, and they haven't communicated, and they haven't been able to get them on any of their communicators, cell phones, or other means. And, yeah, this is bad. And it is definitely in a public place, and they are concerned about the danger to civilians. And Fran just fine, I'll send a team now to just slam the phone down. It's still one of those nice, sturdy Bakelite phones, because those are so fun to slam, and Fran strikes you as the kind of person that needs to slam a phone now and then. And she just sort of sits back down, like, with a big angry thud, and is like, all right, we've got an emergency now. So...
And we didn't before.
Yeah. You in?
When are we not?
All right.
Worse.
And I got nothing else to do.
And she does her customary fanning on the desk of 4 unlimited Metro cards. Unlimited 1-week Metro cards. These are good for 1 week. They also contain a chip that'll get you in and out of the warehouse doors. Usually that's a team leader thing, but we need to use every advantage in this town. However, because of interference from the Hellmouth, I know 2 of you have never been here before, the other 2 you know the spiel. Don't let the warehouse door close on you on either side. We cannot guarantee you will come back here. I'm not saying you'll end up somewhere bad, but it's like you're gonna end up in Cincinnati instead of Queens, and it's all because of the interference from the Hellmouth.
And you're saying Cincinnati isn't a bad place to be?
Sometimes
You don't want to mess with Cincinnati.
I don't judge, but yeah. So yeah, so everyone take a Metro card. And you're gonna need them because you're going to Inwood.
Where now?
Inwood, it's, have you ever heard of the Cloisters?
Not in this context, no.
Okay, but you've heard of it. It's a castle on the northern uptownmost tip of Manhattan, in the middle of a forest that is on the uppermost tip of Manhattan. That freaks out a lot of visitors because they get confused. Like, why is
Right.
there a forest here? So, under the Cloisters, we have kind of a makeshift lab and holding pen, and Central Brotherhood wanted to start consolidating the containment of magical animals to the warehouse. So they're like, can we take those unicorns? And we said yes. And that team was supposed to bring them from the lab under the Cloisters to the warehouse doors in the Inwood subway station. And they have not shown up.
So we've just lost a team and some unicorns out in New York somewhere.
Well, not in New York somewhere. They're in the Fort Tryon Park, which is the park that the Cloisters are in, and yeah.
Great.
Horses are notoriously bad at staircases.
Yes.
These are not okay. Let me get one thing straight with you. Whatever you think you know about unicorns, I'm not saying you're wrong, but these are not those unicorns. These are dangerous creatures. They need to not be out among civvies.
Are these the carnivorous unicorns?
Possibly, yes.
So these are more douchicorns.
Maybe? Look, this isn't my realm. These things predate me being here. They predate Narissa being here. Not Stogie, but he's asleep right now. Because vampire life or whatever. So, yeah. Somewhere between the Cloisters and the subway station, hopefully three unicorns are just wandering around Fort Tryon Park, and maybe there are some confused non-local Omega zookeepers trying to round them up. But the guy who's holding the warehouse door open can't leave because he has to hold the door open. So,
For some reason, my brain autocorrected zookeepers to zucchinis, and I was like, huh?
Zucchinis. So yeah, any more details? Like, these are not the floofy, sugar-coated legend bullshit. Like, these are dangerous creatures. They need to be contained both for their own preservation and because they might hurt someone. You got an 18-inch spike on your head. What do you think is going to happen? So, go.
Got it.
Oh, wait. All right. Two of you have the Cypher app on... Do you two have the Cypher app on your phone?
I do.
Okay, because we don't have a Cypher that we can send with you.
Understandable.
All right, you two, do you want the Cypher app?
Sure.
All right. And she just picks up her smartphone. Doop, 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 doop. And suddenly something is like, accept Cypher app. Yes, no.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Is Agent 1042 accepting this app?
His phone is not what you would call a smartphone, so no.
It tries. It's like, is this a photo? Is it a photo? Is it a flip phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it thinks it's a photo, and your phone is very confused. So, but it seems like as you're looking at it, it seems like. Actually, give me an R&D roll if you're curious. First roll of the night.
Sweet. Let's go with it.
Woo-hoo.
I got a 2.
Did you roll 2 dice?
Is it 2?
Yeah, you roll approach and discipline.
Add them
And
together.
add the 2.
Yeah.
So to
So
get
I'm going
And
to-
apply any appropriate modifiers.
Yes. But this isn't a very important one, so I recommend not using your faith dice now.
No.
But you could definitely use demon dice.
I'm good.
Did anyone get above a 10?
oh, we're all rolling?
No, just the 2 noobs.
Okay.
Because you already have it on your phone.
Okay. With that
Roll
roll.
7.
Okay, Agent got a 7, and what is your character's name
I got
again?
Avis,
Avis got what?
a 6.
Would either of you like to roll some Demondus? Because you can start with 1. And if that's enough, that's fine. If it's not enough, you can roll another one.
No, I'm good.
Just saying.
I'm good.
Okay, so, Avis, you have an app on your phone. You're not entirely sure what it does, but maybe it turned your phone into a cipher.
Cool.
Agent, you're even less sure what it seems to be doing. It starts out as, is this a photo file? Oh, no, I get it. And it's done something to a phone that shouldn't be able to accept apps. And you're not sure what.
Useful.
Maybe.
While they are prodding around trying to figure out this Cipher app, I want to use my Cipher app to pull up relevant information on unicorns and what witchcraft stuff I should probably take with me to capture/gather these things safely.
I would like to
I will
quickly.
not make you roll for that. What do you want to do, Rian?
I would like to roll to quickly create an advantage using my Cipher app phone to for the best way to lure and hurt and incapacitate unicorns. So, knowledge unicorn essentially would be the name of the advantage.
Okay. Unicorn lore.
Yep.
Okay. So you're both basically doing the same thing?
Pretty much.
I'm doing it quickly using the Cipher app.
Okay, so basically Rian is building an advantage that is a knowledge-based advantage, and Shay is building an equipment-based advantage.
Yeah.
Fran will outright say, alright, so our unicorns are not the ones in the database. As she sees you both checking your cipher phone, she's like,
Okay.
so...
Then what do we need to know about getting them back? Without, getting gored by an 18-inch spear.
I'm not sure which of the lore is accurate for them.
Oh.
I would advise sidestepping.
I mean, yeah.
Common sense would say.
One of the reasons they wanted our unicorns is because they're not in the database. So, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. That is one less thing to deal with for me or worry about, and then this happens. So it's like, well,
Oh.
fuck. So.
So the unicorns are in fact unicorns in the sense that they are singular organisms that are not found anywhere else currently.
Well, there's 3 of them, but maybe it's... I haven't seen them. Like, I have never had to actually deal with them. They've just been living under the cloisters and people have been feeding them. Or our agents have been feeding them, but I'm not in that department. And it was basically just keep them alive until we figure out what to do with them. And then that started in at least the 30s, probably earlier. I believe this might predate the cloisters.
Do you know what they were feeding them?
Meat.
Ha,
Raw
great.
meat.
In that case, I would like to
So
withdraw.
yes, they are carnivorous. They might be omnivorous, but they're definitely not vegetarians.
In that case, I would like to withdraw a slab of frozen beef from the warehouse.
You found a slab of ground beef, but
I'm going to take...
I just want it to be frozen because I don't want to carry around a
pig's
sack
blood.
of meat.
that's fine.
I'm going to take some vials of pig's blood. We'll see what happens with that, but
Okay, well, do you still want to build your advantages? Because I'll still let you do that.
Yeah.
It just might not work the way you expect. Alright, first, Rian, roll your knowledge-based advantage.
Okay. I'm doing so quickly and using my Cipher app.
Okay.
So Cipher app grants a +2 to that, right?
Yes, Cipher app is +2.
Cool.
That is the wrong
And
thing.
because of the knowledge-based advantage, I have another +2. So that's 14.
Awesome. I mean, if it were a 15, you'd get 2
Sure.
dice on it. So
Roll
would
a
you like
demon die.
Demondus? Yes.
Well, that was a 6, so now it's a 20.
Awesome. So you get so what are we calling this? Unicorn lore?
Basically.
Question mark. Unicorn lore question mark. All right. And now Shay, I won't make you use any of. You don't have to use Rianne's faith advantage. You can, well, you can if you want, but from your own research, now build a equipment based aspect.
Okay. Is this technically creating an advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
I would recommend doing it that way, because then you
Okay.
have an equipment advantage to use extra dice on your future rolls.
That's kind of where I was going with it, but I wanted to make sure because I also want to use my stunt of sure, I'll help. And I add a +2 to cleverly create an advantage. And I used the Cypher app to figure out what I need to do. So
I'll allow that.
um,
That's what it's for, because no one ever
Yeah.
wants to play the Cypher except for the van, which won't work in the New York City game. Someday.
okay.
Surprise! No, very few people want to play the kangaroo.
Hmm.
People have played the kangaroo before, but
What's the modifier for the Cypher app?
it's +2.
Okay, then I got a 14.
Okay, so that's one. But if you got to a 15 with this little friend, you would have 2 invokes on it.
Trix is staring daggers at me, so I'm not gonna do it.
I am immune to your daggers.
Don't listen to her. Listen to me.
Listen. Listen.
Yeah, no, I'll
So
just stick with the 1 for now.
Just so our new friends know, this is a game where it's fun to fail. And that means it's also fun when the GM wins sometimes. So,
Fadier in the chat, do it!
do it! Yes, listen to Fatior. I hope I'm pronouncing your screen name right. Everyone pronounces, so many people pronounce mine wrong. But, alright. Shay, what do you want to call this advantage with one lonely little invoke on it?
Unicarnivores? Question mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're basically picking up more meat or blood that you think that the unicorn would want to eat if it eats meat.
Yeah. I'm getting specific things to add to my typical witchcraft stuff to attract and capture a carnivorous being that is like a unicorn apparently is.
So, in the database, most of what you see are what are designated as fey unicorns, which are, some of them seem to be like the whole virgin thing, but they're kind of like it's. So the Fae are a thing in this. It's basically one of the defining features of Demon Hunters. All of the stories are real, which means there are multiple.
Tastes like glitter.
Yeah, there are multiple kinds of unicorns. Some of them look very different to the westernized version, from China and India and Southeast Asia, and Greece. Some of them have been cited. Some of them are just in the database as maybe. The one you have the most knowledge of are Fey unicorns, which seem to be that kind of sugary stereotype of like Last Unicorn nonsense of silvery mane and healing powers and hang out with virgins, but they're Fey. What? They have some of them. They have a few in captivity in the warehouse zoo. Or on loan from the Fae allies you have for study. But those seem to be herbivores, or they eat dreams.
I thought those were small Baku, or what do you call them?
Well, the Baku also eat dreams. You dealt with them the last time you were in New York. They look like little aardvark elephants.
That was fun.
Nom nom nom. That time you did that death ritual in the bathroom and whoops. Luckily there was a helpful ghost. Anyway. Are those hot Bishonen? Sometimes they do transform fairy shit, man. Hashtag fairy bullshit. So these may be fey creature, but it sounds like according to Fran, they're different. Well, for starters, they're carnivorous, and that does not really show up in the database.
Maybe they're just unseelie.
Maybe. The database does say, yeah, like, attracted to virginal innocence, very pretty, very shiny, very magic, fairy shit, healing powers, you know, all the standards that I won't make you roll for because it's everywhere.
Heal this bitch.
Heal this bitch. That's how half fae were made. Yeah. Unicorns of Gravity Falls. I don't remember if I saw that yet. Oh, I haven't finished Gravity Falls. Anyway, sorry, chat.
It was a whole thing.
It's a whole ordeal.
I'll look that up later. All right.
You should.
So, unicornivores. All right. So yeah, Shay can easily do that by just stepping through the door to nowhere into the warehouse using their, you know, Metro card, which has the chip in it to open the door. Would either Agent or Avis like to do anything to suit up?
No.
Okay.
Pick up a couple of clips of cold iron ammo.
Yep. It does suggest because of the fairy shit that cold iron might do something.
I'll pick up a couple of clips of just random bullets.
Yeah.
Cold iron, holy, whatever I happen to think might be necessary.
Do you want to build that as an advantage?
Yes.
It's multi-phase bullets. Just in case you run into any unicorn Borg.
You know.
You fire them, and first the stage 1 rockets fall off.
What are you rolling to build this advantage?
Careful and research and development.
Okay.
Because I'm planning for everything. I got a 9, which means you're going to get one of those pesky demon dice that you like so much.
Yay!
I got 11.
Okay. If you hit a fit, so that's one free invoke on multi-phase bullets. Multi-phase magic multi-phase bullets. Okay.
Science! Exclamation point. Bullet.
Science bullets.
Science rules.
You could roll another demon dice and get it up to a 15.
No, I think 10's good for today.
Okay. Just saying. So yeah, Fran shows you on the subway map behind her, and it comes up on your cipher phones. Even the flip phone, you don't know how that works. Actually, but you know, it's a flip phone, so it's a very granulated, hard to read image, but it's trying. Something is trying.
8-bit New York map.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say that today the train gods are kind, and you are able to get, you know, from Central Queens into Manhattan, and then all the way up to the other end of Manhattan, or to the northernmost end of Manhattan, where the trains stop and the trees grow again. Yeah.
Where the wild things are, got it.
Where the wild things are. Well, they are today, it seems. So yeah, you get out of the Inwood, and you know, it's sort of basic subway station, but it's weird seeing a New York City street with apartment buildings end in a cul-de-sac. Or is it a cul-de-sac, or is it just a rounded dead end? I forget. I haven't been outside in 7 months.
Yeah, that's a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
I think that's a cul-de-sac.
That's a cul-de-sac. Dead end circle. Cul-de-sac.
Well, yes, I'm just trying to remember if it's an actual cul-de-sac or if they just ended the street and just rounded it off.
Oh.
So it's like, can I make a U-turn here? I don't know.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
True. Welcome to New York. So yeah, it's interesting. The entrance to Inwood Park, or one of the entrances, is right up against the edge of this street, which is where the subway station is. And this is, you're up past Harlem. I have a friend in Harlem. Sorry, Harlem. So a lot of the buildings here are kind of more of the brownstony looking, or some of the buildings are more brownstony looking. Some of them are the cheap brick facades. But yeah, there's this big, dense, foresty park that goes like up a hill. And as you exit the subway station, you see kind of, there's you come up into this kind of like pavilion housing that's kind of nice and pretty and Greek-ish inspired, maybe. MTA Gresham. And kind of, if you notice, along one side, there is a guy with his foot in the double door, in these, like, double, like, utility doors, who is, wearing a Brotherhood patch on his, they're not quite army fatigues, but they're kind of that kind of not quite a jumpsuit, not quite army fatigues, they're just kind of this, like, dark green kind of uniform. And he's just holding the door open with his foot, like, just looking out for anyone. And so you're pretty sure that's the guy Fran was yelling at on the phone. Do you stop to talk to him?
I will.
Yeah.
The guy with no face.
Just walk up. Hey there.
How's it
Open
going?
The door.
I am very clearly a Brotherhood agent.
Hey, I'm just gonna stand here and hold the door open, but two other Zookeeper Omegas are in there, and I still haven't heard. So it's been at least another hour on the trains to get here. So it has now been 2 hours since they were supposed to be here. And it's like, yeah, so it's.
Do you know what we're supposed to be hunting?
Well, I mean, if the package. He looks around. There are people around. Not a ton of them, because it's basically like a Thursday afternoon in autumn. So school is in session. It's like mid-afternoon. The vampires are asleep. Hence, Stogie can't help you. Because he's a vampire, and he's the head of Theta 5. There's, yeah, so it's like, chill, crisp autumn breeze. Not a ton of pedestrians or civilians, because it is like, people are at work, people are at school. It's maybe getting on to 3 p.m. though, so school might let out soon. He's like, hunting the package, did Fran give you... I didn't get to see them, so, because I was just here holding the door open, so I couldn't go with them. Like, I hope they're okay, but I mean, they're good people. I don't think they would have run off with them or had any, like, shady stuff on the side.
No, more likely the unicorns ate them. Apparently, these unicorns are carnivorous.
Yeah. Yeah,
You didn't need to say that out loud.
Yikes. Okay. I'm just gonna stay here and hold the door open. So, I mean,
Fair.
I'm in Omega 525. So, and I got the cipher app from Fran, so, like, I can be in, he just kind of, like, holds his phone up to yours, and all four of you get a, new friend. Omega
Cool.
545.
We'll stay in touch.
Yeah, just loop me in if something's happened to them. Like, I don't know if we'll need reinforcements. I mean, either way, I can't let this door close because it's New York.
Right.
And I can't just prop it open and leave because it's the warehouse and it's New York. So... And I just hope the MTA doesn't have any maintenance to do today, because usually this isn't a warehouse door. It's a maintenance shed. So, like, I'm here if there's any, but all I can really do is just hold this open. and keep things going. And
where does it lead to currently?
this currently leads to the warehouse.
Yes, but where in the warehouse?
Specifically to an area near the zoo. Um, there, I'm I'm still not sure where the zoo is usually located, but they've had to move it recently. So we've been consolidating all of the creatures in the warehouse, basically, because why not? That's where we have space. And so at the same time, Brotherhood Brass decided they wanted to consolidate all of the animals and creatures and stuff that the Brotherhood has just across the planet into one place.
Fair
That
enough.
seems foolish.
I just work there, until
Yeah,
I
who
either
are we
get
to judge?
like I'm good with animals. Like all of us in the zoo, the Omega Zoo, are like, we're good with animals one way or another. But it's basically, I mean, it's the same as any other Omega job. You either die or you get promoted. So
Well, in
I
that case, I do believe it is best for you to stay here and keep the door open.
yeah. I basically don't have. I was really just actually a regular zookeeper until an incident, and then the Brotherhood picked me up. So yeah, I don't have any like magic powers or special skills, so I'm the one holding the door open. So
Yes, the amorous Bigfoot making its way into the gorilla cage was an incident that precipitated a number of zookeepers being added to the Brotherhood.
oh, you heard about that? Yeah.
I did.
The what?
He just gets this 1,000-yard stare and it's like, oh, that
You know, I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a day. So yeah, like just keep me into, because I mean these are my teammates. I'd like to know if hopefully they're okay.
If we find them, we will send them back to you first.
I mean we know from Fran that they're not the typical fairy unicorns. Whether there are different like, and whoever was keeping track of them was not taking good notes. So, or they were taking paper notes and just not digitizing them for the rest of the Brotherhood to put on the database. Like, I don't know.
It may be something to investigate later.
Yeah. They were supposed to collect any data they could find in whatever format, so
I suppose we shall see.
yeah. Um yeah, so I'll be here, holding the door. Oh, they did have someone hooked us up with something from the Parks Department. It basically looks like a big green golf cart. And we had a cage hooked up to the back of it. The cage was cold iron because that might work. With an enchanted blanket over it, so no one could see. Or it's kind of a blanket of "Don't look here."
I'm familiar.
Yeah, so it's just sort of like, don't pay attention to us. We're just moving a cage full of things through a city park.
Did the vehicle have a tracking system?
Not that I'm aware of, because it's not a very big park. And it's kind of hard to miss someone driving a green golf cart in New York City. And they're also not that expensive. So,
Fair. Do you know the route that was chosen to take between here and the castle?
I know they just took the main road to the castle. After that, they were talking about maybe doing something a bit sneakier just to try and avoid more gawkers and rubberneckers.
Very well.
Sounds like our only lead at the moment is go to the castle where we know they presumably were last.
I would agree.
Um, a friend did sort of pinpoint on a map of the cloisters where the doors are to that lab.
Holding area, at least.
Yeah. I do know it's about like a half-hour walk up the hill, though. So you know,
Right.
just to warn you, if you feel like you might be lost, you're not lost. It's just a long fucking walk up a lot of hills. It's
No,
this
Very
is a.
well.
I didn't know they had this in New York. Seriously.
I'll begin walking.
So
I'm not
yeah,
gonna say goodbye. I'm just gonna turn around and start walking. That's it.
I'll hold up a hand in like farewell.
yep, I'll be here.
Just turns around. See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
So one noticeable thing is, you happen to spot the guy, since someone is uncomfortable and idling, but those maintenance doors face away from the park. Now that you're looking into the park and walking into it, so it's early November. For the most part, the trees in the city that you see, and there's trees like here and there just lining the streets and such. The leaves are turning red and orange and brown and yellow. Not here. All of these deciduous trees are green. Have any of you been to Fort Tryon Park before? Okay.
No.
In or out of character?
In character, probably.
In character? All right. We'll say that can make some sense. So, Agent, you get a sense that aside from the fact that it feels like spring when it should be autumn, and all this growth feels new and lush, it seems a lot denser than you remember.
That's not good.
Can I do a
Like
mystic arts roll and see if I can figure out at least the flavor of what's going on here?
Okay. Yeah.
Are there any security cameras in the park? Surveillance, since this is on Manhattan Island?
Yeah. There are like I don't remember offhand, so I'm gonna make it up. There are no telephone poles in New York City. For the most part, all of that is underground. But there are trees and lampposts. So on those, you see cameras tend to be, camera here and there mounted. This city park I don't think it's open 24 hours, so it's also, I think 9 p.m. or midnight. I still have this up on the Wikipedia. Or do I?
Pedia is a GM's best friend.
Yes. It does. It is all about the history and not about what is actually happening. We'll say this park is open till midnight.
Okay. While Shay is doing her magic investigation.
There, magic investigation.
My apologies. While they're doing their magic investigation, I will open the flip phone and call the local police precinct.
Okay. It's like NYPD. Oh, there's one other thing Fran would have mentioned. Theta 5 has a tenuous relationship with NYPD. So generally it's, she will instruct you if you find any, she's very sure there is no mundane reason this is happening, because fucking unicorns. But once in a while, other members of this group have been in things where it's like something weird is happening. It might be us related, or we might just be able to find clues that mortal police can't. So if that's the case, then give it to me and I will filter it to NYPD. So in general, they suggest people not contact NYPD. However, you are Agent 1042. So.
Yes, this is Agent 1042. I need to contact the surveillance department. In the Triton Park area, and then I'll give them my badge number.
Okay. So they're like, Agent, what? you will have to make a roll.
Sure. I will do clever plus social engineering.
Okay, if you are doing this to create an advantage, you get the +2 from your stunt.
Okay. So clever plus.
Because it sounds like your ultimate goal is to build an informational advantage of there are cameras.
Yes, I'm trying to access the cameras to figure out what's going on.
Yes.
To at least get it to one of these people who has a smartphone.
Okay. You put that
Arcane
together.
has told us the park is open till 1 a.m. in the real world.
Oh, thank you.
Does the voice of authority help?
Yes, but that means you spend one of your faith die.
We don't need to do that right now.
Yeah.
Let's just roll some dice and see how that turns out. 13.
Okay. So for some strange reason, this guy on the phone is like, what is it? Kind of like there's a pause, and he's like, yes, sir. Let me bring that up. Where do you want me to deliver this footage? You have a flip phone.
I do have a flip phone. However, I know that the other four people.
It has a cipher app on it.
Right, but the other 3 people in my contact network have real phones. So I will have it sent to them.
Okay. So we'll say, park surveillance with 1 invoke on it, unless you would like to add a demandeth.
Well, sure, we'll go ahead. We'll make it exciting.
Yay!
Do it.
Goes from 18.
Oh, nice. So that's ×2.
Oh, and well, I forgot the +2 for my stunt, so it actually goes for 20.
Oh, okay. So that's +3. Park surveillance. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you both have footage, and if someone with higher R&D than you were to roll, could probably get into the cameras directly. Maybe, you think. You're not sure.
Not my department.
But yeah.
Sounds like my department.
So the Cypher app gives you all basically a group chat on a server on a cloud. So this is somehow gets to the cloud because Cypher app.
I would like to roll to hack the cameras directly.
Sure. And if it's okay with your teammate, you can use one of his park surveillance faith dice, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Because I try to ask.
All right. I will go ahead and do that then. And I will create this advantage quickly using my Cypher app.
Okay.
Because it's handy, it's on my phone. So that is not the best it could have been, but it's not bad. So 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay.
Not the best it could have been, you
Not
say.
the best.
I'd forgotten I got a +4.
Only 2 invokes. Okay, so this is a create an advantage.
Yes, creating an advantage.
What are you calling it?
Camera super spy.
Okay. So yeah. Meanwhile, Shay, you are doing whoosh.
Whoosh.
Whoosh. What does Shay's whoosh look like in this circumstance when you're not just making yourself dead? Unless you are making yourself dead. I'm not gonna say no. But...
We don't need that yet.
Wiggle the fingers.
Yeah, it's some like
Jazzy.
wiggling fingers, speaking some Latin that I have not had the time or creativity or, ability to render yet.
Some of the civvies look at you oddly, but are like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's Inwood.
It's just witchcraft,
Pescanomi.
Yeah. So that will be a 10.
Okay.
To figure out what flavor of magic is making these trees not turn like everything else. It's mildly concerning and might play into things later.
Okay, congrats! You have discovered a scene aspect. Unicorn woods. But since you only got a 10, you don't get any faith dice on it unless you would like to add to your roll. See, chat, this is the actual game.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yay!
How high do I need to get here? 15?
Yep.
And I could roll a 1.
You rolled a 1?
I rolled a fucking 1. Oh dear.
Badness table. Let's see.
I'm gonna roll a second one just because, like, I've committed now.
Yeah,
but,
it's like,
you know,
if this be treason, make the most of it.
I rolled a 5 on that one, so we'll get there.
So
I'm
you're
at 16 now.
Okay, so you get a free invoke on Unicorn Woods. Because you were not building an advantage. But you did discover a scene aspect. Let's see.
The real question, does it taste like glitter?
So... on my ones chart, Shay did 1. She did a 1. So to the mundane eye, these woods look green and lush and verdant and very not autumn, not Halloweeny. And you see some of the you know, fallen autumn leaves still on the ground under the lush green grass that is growing thick and verdant everywhere that there is not pavement. Moss, and now once you start looking at it with, you know, magic stuff, it is glowing emerald green. There is definitely some kind of magical enhancement going on. And you remember from various things you checked on your phone app and everything that unicorn woods tend to be like springtime all the time. Like unicorns are somehow like not just part of an ecosystem. They are the ecosystem because weird Celtic lore stuff. And
yeah.
you do get a sense of like maybe it's glitter adjacent. Uh-oh. We lost a Trixie. Oh,
Yeah, she's working on coming back.
Okay.
Her iPad just started acting up for some reason.
Oh, okay. We'll see her in a few.
Yep.
So it's your own experience with fairy bullshit. You sense like glitter adjacent.
Ah.
But it's not fae.
So don't start choking on glitter as I try to pronounce Latin words.
You get a sense that this might somehow, like, speaking in science terms, some other evolution branch, or maybe even glitter preceding. But this is very much, it's definitely like this is a side effect of having unicorn in a forest.
Okay, so
definitely.
Like, yeah.
And this is not normal for Fort Triumph. You're pretty sure like it's not this way year round because of this magical
it's just
enhancement.
right now because these unicorns are out and about.
Question.
On the prowl.
Do I see?
Yes, classical Latin.
Do I see Do I see any garbage on the ground? Like I would normally expect to see in basically any forest adjacent to human life.
I mean, it's a New York City park, so yeah, there's some wrappers, maybe a coffee cup or a soda can, but for the most part, it seems like people around here use the recycling and the garbage bins.
Are there any homeless people in the park? You see a woman asleep on a bench towards the outer edge of the park, like as you're walking. Maybe a few. You can't really measure this distance in blocks here, and New Yorkers never measure anything in actual normal distance. So maybe about 10 minutes in, you see a woman sleeping on a bench. Does she look healthy?
You honestly, yeah, her clothing is very dirty. She looks about like maybe mid-20s,
Well,
but she doesn't. Well, she's asleep. She doesn't look super unhealthy. Like,
does she look like she is physically in better condition than her clothing is?
yeah, she kind of does look maybe a bit healthier than you would expect for someone sleeping on a park bench in New York.
Okay.
Definitely healthier than Shay at any rate.
There are vampires that look healthier than Shay.
That's true.
Because they, like, try usually not to look like vampires.
I believe a wild Avis has reappeared.
Woo-hoo. So yeah, Shay discovered Scene Aspect Unicorn Woods.
Just gonna be like, doesn't taste like glitter, but the unicorns are out and about. Sorry, someone just screamed outside my window. I got concerned for a moment.
I wondered what that noise was. Like,
that was the drunk people that live in this place.
Yay.
I despise them. Anyway,
so
I will convey that information about the unicorn wood to my party members.
Okay.
Do you know how long it takes for the effect to occur?
No idea.
Hmm.
The magic feels ancient, but I don't think its effects are. It's clear this isn't a year-round state, but
you said it feels like ancient magic?
Yeah, like older than the Fey magic.
Or older than the distinction between Fey and other magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deadly ancient magics.
Yeah.
Little deadly. Maybe. Yeah, and the further you walk into this eternally uphill walk for a half hour, like, the sun is shining, you know, through the dappled green forest, and there's this odd golden haze wherever the sunlight shines through, and dust motes, and it just has this really weird, like, city parks, even the cloisters don't always have this, but that sense of when you're walking through a forest and sounds are muted because everything is alive and absorbing the sound.
If the animal starts singing, run.
There are definitely birds chirping, and
I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about the rabbits.
I'm pretty sure he's asking about Disney numbers.
Musical montage.
Actually,
the hills are alive. Now we're running.
No, but Agent 1042. Since you brought it up, I would allow this as a social engineering role, like basically a notice check. So let's say quick social engineering.
Quick social. I can attempt to do that.
Yes, just roll it. So I want to see
14.
14.
Do you see the die?
But if you get it to a 15, you get a plus.
Yeah, I know. This is the die I'm picking up to roll that for.
Oh, okay. So demon die.
20.
20. So you have discovered another scene aspect. As you kind of, you're thinking, oh god, singing woodland creatures, and you look around, and you see something about maybe this tall standing next to one of the lampposts, because you're keeping an eye on the cameras, and that you're just sort of naturally have that kind of see all the things agent sense. And it's a tiny little figure, just this tall, and it's wearing a brown robe.
How many apples tall is it?
It is like 1 apple tall.
Okay. And it's not
tiny.
blue.
And it's not running from you, and it's kind of looking up at you. Oh, you rolled a 20. So it pulls down its hood, and it is a chipmunk.
Strange. I've never seen a chipmunk like that.
And it's just sort of looking at you.
I'll show it
I
the
would
map.
like to.
Like a baby Yoda.
Show it the badge. What's going on? I don't speak chipmunk.
Would you like to?
That's
Do it.
I have made people speak to animals in the past.
That was hilarious, and you totally asked for it. What happened?
But you get 2 free invokes on chipmunks. Might be a hint that there's more than one here. Now, Shay, I'll say because you rolled so well on Unicorn Woods that this guy does smell slightly glittery. But, you know, he's friendly. Or they are friendly. So would you, Shay, are you creating an advantage? Speak to animals.
Yeah.
Are you casting it on yourself or on the
I
agent?
will
Or on
cast it
everyone?
on the whole group because I think that will make things simpler.
For the whole
If
group,
I'm doing the ritual, I'm doing the ritual, and
for the whole group, I'm gonna say you need to aim for a 15.
Okay.
I would like to crouch down next to the chipmunk and reach into my pocket and pull out trail mix. A little bag of trail mix.
He holds out his little wooden bowl, and a few little bits of granola fit in it, and he just goes like.
Okay.
What kind of trail mix do you make that has granola in it?
Trail mix.
Trail mix is
Maybe it's a
nuts,
New England thing.
M&Ms, and raisins.
I put granola in my trail mix, and I'm from Ohio.
Maybe it's an East Coast thing? Or Eastern? I don't know. I have seen both forms of trail mix.
I've never put granola in trail mix.
Anyway, so your trail mix is what? Is nuts, raisins, and M&Ms?
Yeah.
Okay, he gracefully he kind of pushes the M&M aside for some reason, but gratefully eats all the other bits, and then the bowl is empty except for the M&M that he doesn't really want. Because I'm not sure if chocolate is bad for rodents, so I'm just gonna
Probably.
Yeah.
Fair.
Or maybe he's taken a certain vow of not poverty exactly, but just you know, I don't need.
Actually, rodents can eat chocolate. I know because Mom used to tell me stories about feeding her rat fudge. So you know.
And he, I presume, lived. Okay, we'll say he can eat M&M. He will also eat the M&M, and then he's kind of just got an empty bowl, but he doesn't seem like he's entitled to more because he's a chipmunk.
Huh.
Okay. More of that came from.
So, I have rolled. I'm also going to use my stunt, and I didn't say that before because we were chatting.
That's
But
okay.
So.
What'd you roll?
I have a 19.
Oh, okay. Damn, no demon dice. All right, I said a 15. So, all right. So talk to animals. And this was built with advantage. So
yeah.
All right. So I'll say it's got 2 invokes on it. But generally, yeah, you can all understand the chipmunk. So basically, Shay is woojing while
and suddenly the chattering starts to become words that you can understand.
Thank you very much, Brotherhood of the Celestial Torch.
Ah, you know who we are.
There's more. There's more where this came from. We are looking for the unicorns.
You do not need to pay for my services. We keep the woods. We will gladly help the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood acts in the interests of the one true God. And we are also his agents as well, although of a smaller stature. I require no payment. Generous gifts will not be rejected by me or my brothers, but you know, we are here to protect the forest, just as you are. Just from a slightly different angle.
Fair. Still, it is impolite to ask for services without recompense. So,
in the secular world, yes, but we understand the differences between our order and that of the rest of the world, or even just the rest of the city. That is
And
what
your
brought most
order.
of us here.
And your order is?
He says something that doesn't quite translate into animal speak because I haven't written it down yet. It's like
Fair.
he might just say it. Just sort of feels like he just said we are the chipmunks, but you're not sure. Kind of like how people aren't sure whether they've seen your face. But again, glitter adjacent. This is rather glittery.
Yes, there's a space between chip and muck.
Yes.
I just got that.
You are the chipmunks. We understand that the unicorns have escaped, and there has been death in our forest. But we do not
Indeed.
have ways of fixing this problem, which is why we are here to assist you as much as we can.
Appreciated, because we probably need it.
You may.
Have you seen the unicorns?
I have not, but I have spoken with someone who has.
What do they look like?
Unicorns?
Are they white, one horn, just cloven hooves?
Do rodents see in color?
That I don't know.
No.
I mean, I'm asking if they're white though, because that's even if you only see in grayscale, you know what
Yeah.
white is.
More or less that. But we
Yes, they see in color.
We do not have electronic or magical means of communications, so I've only heard what I have heard from my brothers.
Can you speak to the birds? Actually, we can speak to the birds. I would like to look around and see if there's a raven. Any kind of corvid. I will take a blue jay. I don't care, but
Corvids are trustworthy.
I'm looking for birds. Well, more than that, they're clever.
How many?
Yeah.
They're
people
assholes,
died?
but they're clever. More importantly,
Yeah, so now that you have animal speak, you hear something going, food! Food, damn it! Food! And that sounds bird-like to you.
I'll stand up.
It
I'll
is
stand
a
up
blue jay.
I'll stand up and declare loudly, "I have food."
Food! Whoosh! And you are attacked effectively. Not attacked for damage. There is a blue jay flapping at you. Food! Because blue jays
I have
are
raisins.
assholes.
I have raisins and nuts.
It eats them.
Excellent. I require your assistance.
And
There
it
is more
flies
food.
away. Unless you want to make a social engineering roll.
I do. I'm actually not bad at social engineering, and I will do it quickly. Oh, there's my character sheet. Sorry. Bad, good. Okay, and I will actually tap my discipline of clever hands because he landed on my hand.
He did technically land on your hand.
And on my hand to eat, so I'm gonna tap that. All right. Okay, I rolled a 1 on one of them, so it's not spent. And that's
If you roll a 1 on a faith die, you get to keep it. And use it again.
so I rolled 8 altogether, and I will add a demon dice to that because fuck, I need this blue jay's help. So that makes it up to a 12. Do I catch the bastard, or do I need to roll more?
Yeah, he's a blue jay. He's a
Cool.
douchebag.
So I've got him now. It's like,
Why? Food! What do you want?
I need your help in finding unicorns.
Fine!
There is more food.
food!
I'll give him another. I'll give him a nut. There is more food, the more you help.
Deal!
I'll let
The
him go.
chipmunks are like, yes, the blue jays are not the most spiritually adaptive creatures.
I'll let the bird go.
It sort of hovers, it sort of flights upon a branch of a tree. It's like, what do you want me to do again?
Fly around, look for white and large and horn, and report back if you find 3 of them.
Okay. And it just starts, fluttering about. It's a blue jay. They don't really circle like other
No.
big birds, but he's
Yeah.
doing his thing.
out of character, I've gotten dive bombed by fucking blue jays before, so
They are vicious.
Yes, they are
They are
mean.
they're
mean.
assholes.
See,
They're great birds, but they are assholes.
we sadly don't see a ton of blackbird of crows or ravens in New York City, or at least I don't. But we definitely see blue jays, and they definitely fight with the chipmunks for food when there are humans feeding them. Ask how I know.
Around here, it's the mockingbirds who will fight the squirrels.
You can actually hear what sounds like a mockingbird.
Who is he mocking?
And it's basically going, hey, hey there, good looking. Hey, how you doing? I'm free tonight. Are you free tonight? And
Oh my gosh.
Shay might be slightly rethinking the decision to make all the animals talk. And this is why I love this game system. And why I love role-playing games, because my players screw themselves over better than I ever could.
I mean, since we are able to hear all the animals, we'll probably hear another animal say something about what's going on, and we might be able to find out where it is.
You hear them go, hey, have you seen any unicorns? Hey!
Follow that animal. I think it's a bird. Is it a bird?
Well, that's the blue jay you were just talking to. So he's basically
cool.
asking around, also like circling about. It is 8:36, and this is typically where we take a 10-minute break, unless we just want to keep going.
I would not be opposed to a break.
Okay.
We can let our blue jay friend look for unicorns while we break.
Yeah.
Well, I edit some of my plot because I definitely wrote too much.
Ah.
Whoops! But that's
It happens.
That's life.
all right. So chat, we have 10 viewers. Yay! Cast summon Baby Yoda. Yeah. So you've made animal friends. Everything's awesome.
I hope
Animal
you know, Technomouse,
friends.
that I am trying to translate that Latin that you posted in chat.
Technomouse is here. Hey, bro.
I'm very slow
No
at this.
aliens. Yeah. Yeah, one rule, one of the ongoing rules of Demon Hunter's setting is there are no aliens. And the canon guy who said that my version of NYC might be canon now, is, he is the canon guy. So, anywho, so we're going to go silent for about 10 minutes, and I'll put it on a timer, and then we'll be back for the rest of this interesting unicorn hunt. Alright. So, see ya in a few minutes, chat, and sound off. Hello, chat, we are back! Woohoo!
Hello.
So, yes. So I realized during break I did completely the wrong voice for the chipmunks, because I have not run Changeling the Dreaming. Well, I haven't run that group of NPCs and Changing the Dreaming in over 15 years. So, yes, and there is Kitty. That is a Fiona, and she is a floof.
It's just
Such
Fiona.
floof.
She loves all the attention.
I apologize in fact that I'm going to be very distracted for the rest of game because there's a cat. But
I can
happily
move her
distracted.
out of frame. Here.
Yeah, unless, she needs pettings, because that's priorities.
Yeah.
Alright, so when we left our heroes, because demon hunters are technically heroes, we think.
We can be
Maybe.
heroes
Can
this
be.
time.
Yay! They had decided that the best thing to do in a magical unicorn forest was to cast Talk to Animals. They have so many new friends now. So
Wouldn't
the Blue Jay's
necessarily
going,
call them
"Hey!
friends.
Hey! Have you seen a unicorn? Hey!" You vaguely hear that kind of far away. And meanwhile, the chipmunk is happily walking alongside you unless someone wants to pick him up.
I'll give the chipmunk a ride on my shoulder.
Thank you, Brotherhood Agent.
Of course. I assume we probably move faster than you can comfortably.
Yes. You're much, much taller. And he just sort of chills out like in a pocket or something, and he's just like, "Oh, this is nice. Oh, I'm so high. Oh. And now that you have him there, you see like there are other little figures in the trees wearing little brown robes going like, and they're like, and he kind of like, and they're all nodding at each other and scurrying around. And you can hear others in the trees going, "Unicorns? Unicorns in the woods? Unicorns. I saw something much scarier than a unicorn." And they're just like, "What?" And at that point, you hear a chipmunk say, "Wait, but I saw something much scarier than a unicorn." You hear the blue jay screams coming closer again. Hey! I haven't seen the unicorns yet, but I did find some dead bodies.
That would be a clue.
Of, like, humans.
Yeah. That
is
Take us
shit.
there.
That is worth payment. I will hold out a mixed thing of nuts and raisins.
I just, like, vacuums them all up. Dude!
Can you show us the way there?
That way? I have to fly slow now?
Or you can ride on me.
They're like, that way. And he sits on your shoulder like, okay. Is there more food?
Points with wing.
Points with wing. That way!
Oh. I'll hand him an unshelled peanut to keep him busy while we're walking.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. Munch.
He's got to open it because it's still got a shell on.
The chipmunk actually takes the M&M back out of what must have been a mouth pouch and actually eats it while he's in your pocket. Oh, this is good. Brotherhood agents are a lot nicer than I expected.
We value allies.
Oh. It is nice to be valued. Wow. And sometimes, translation, he is calling out to the other chipmunks, "Hey, keep an eye out for unicorns. Unicorns and murders.
We may.
Unicorns and
To be
murders."
fair, the unicorns we were told were here were carnivorous unicorns. So.
Possible. Most forest creatures are dangerous in one way or another.
True. Still, we don't know exactly what they do look like, so.
Death is a dance on the forest floor. That's why we live in the trees.
I mean, that's smart.
Don't chipmunks, like, out of character, don't chipmunks live in the forest? Aren't they,
they live in the trees. Death is a dance on the forest floor.
Oh, okay.
Chipmunks in my neighborhood at least live in the ground because we had a family that burrowed in the hill in my backyard over the summer. But
yeah, that's what I thought.
They are capable of climbing trees too, so I don't see why they might not live up there as well.
Little hole in the tree. Have a little chipmunk family.
Yeah, the blue jay's like, that way, this way, and just kind of directing you. You get like 3/4 of the way to the cloisters. You can start to see it above the trees a little bit. But he says, "No, it's that way." And he kind of leads you like left off the main
Drag.
asphalt path kind of thing. And it's still just the more you're in here, the more it's like, this is a goddamn enchanted forest. Whoa. Like, birds that should not be here are singing, whether because geography or time of year or both. It's like, no, that's not normal.
Strange. The call of the greater titmouse. I was not expecting that.
And the call of the greater titmouse is, show me your titties! Because it's still New York.
Yeah.
And there's still that mockingbird guy, hey, baby, how you doing? Hey! And
We just hear the echo path.
Yeah, someone's just not answering. It's like, hey, I'm free tonight.
I shouldn't be surprised that the birds are New Yorkers too, but they sure are.
Yeah, unless they like
He's
migrated.
stuck. Give me a quarter.
I got LED lights on my nest. It's cool. Hey. And the pigeons are food, but they're not even as intelligent as the blue jay.
Yeah,
kind
no.
of not mean, but they're also just kind of like not super smart either.
Static behind their eyes.
Yep.
They're like, there's one standing just right in front, just staring at you, and you walk in, it's just like,
The wheel is still turning, but the hamster is dead.
Casual.
so yeah, the blue jay directs you over to an unfortunate sight. Your first crime scene of the game. It only took us halfway through.
Okay.
But you know, you built up some nice allies who could take you directly there. So
Yeah.
You find a dark green golf cart and a cage on a pulley cart, both turned on their side. 2 dead omegas and 1 dead unicorn.
What does the unicorn look like?
So, it, like, if you were to see this thing just out random, like no one's prepared you for this, friend didn't tell you anything, like you would say this is a unicorn. But it's not like silvery, sparkly, white, pure, blah, moonlight, blah, de blah, like the Fey unicorns in the database. It's like, it's almost white. It's like a very light kind of horse color, but it's not a pure white. It's just sort of like off-white kind of standard.
Bit gray, whatever.
A bit gray, a bit dun, maybe. Its horn also isn't white or silver, or white like a narwhal horn, which is a common substitute for alicorn. It's still like a long 18-inch spiral, but it's like a spiral of actual horn colors. So like brown and off-white and ivory and reddish, and there are some veins at the base that are no longer pumping. And it still has a lion's tail, goat's feet, and the head and face is somewhere between a goat and a horse, kind of slightly more delicate than a standard horse with the beard.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very dead.
Blue jay. We're looking for 2 more of those. And I point to the unicorn.
Do they need to be alive for me to get food?
No, but we do need to find them.
Deal. Alright. And he just sort of launches back up and starts flittering. Has anyone seen a unicorn alive or dead? I'm looking for unicorns! Hey! Hey! And the
Unicorn.
yeah, the little chipmunk seems a little saddened by this scene, but he's holding it together. So,
In the meanwhile, I will use my superior covert ops skills to recreate the scene and what the hell happened here.
Okay.
While Rihanna's looking at that, I would like to know how long these people have been dead and how bad of shape are these bodies in? Can I try to resurrect them?
That will take a roll. So if y'all want to do your investigation rolls, now is the time to roll them.
All right, clever covert ops, which is actually better than I thought it was. Okay.
I'm going to look at this through the Mystic Arts lens because I don't think covert ops or research and development is going to help me personally much.
Since you are a necromancer, I will allow this.
And I'm looking for, can I try to resurrect these poor fools?
I know, yes.
And I will go ahead and tap my concept aspect because this is, what I used to do. So I will tap Specialist Mystery of Nobody. No, hang on. Specialist Nobody of Mystery turned wolf. There we go.
I think I want to do that too because I'm looking at
The
resurrection and
random
I'm
roll
pseudo
was pretty
living.
damn random for this one. Okay.
All right, well, I'll let you use that faith die.
I'm gonna do that too.
Okay.
If I can
Also,
pick
one more
up
thing. I only have
dice.
1d10, so I'm gonna roll it twice. Okay.
That's fine.
So 9
I'm rolling well.
and 5 is 14 plus 4 is 18.
I'm at 19.
So Merc got Rian got an 18 and Shay got a 19.
Indeed.
All
Yes.
right. So I'd say you both qualify for a 1 point plus forward to a scene aspect. 1 each, unless y'all want to roll demon dice and get to a 20 and get 2 each.
I'll
I
roll a
think
demon
that's
die.
worth it for me because I only need to get 1 to get to the 20.
Yeah, I'll roll a demon die because 2 or better does it for me. So
And I rolled a 4.
I also rolled a 4 actually. So I'm at
Huh.
22.
22 and 25. So okay. So first. Okay. Who do I talk to first? Okay. So Shay, your Mystic Arts roll will take, I think, a little bit longer. So we'll go with Rian's more CSI type.
Yeah, I'm
rolls,
basically doing what Prince Humperdinck did in The Princess Bride, where he was stepping through the sword duel.
What
Yeah!
would you like to call this advantage, or do you want to wait until I describe the scene a bit more?
Describe the scene a bit more.
Okay, so like I said, there's a dead unicorn. Because this is definitely physics be damned. Okay, so the 2 dead Omegas. One has been crushed under the cart and his neck broken. The other is some kind of fire or laser damage, which is a little weird, but maybe not the weirdest thing you'll see today. And the one that died of lasering has this terrified look on their face, frozen on their dead face.
Love that.
Both seem to be regular humans with some, you see some gree bags and magical sigils on things, but overall they seem to be, typical, regular human Omegas. So more of those regular zookeepers that didn't know what they were getting into, maybe a little bit, with that Yeti incident. Or Sasquatch, sorry.
Yeah.
They're different.
They are different. The range is totally different.
Yeah.
And you can't breed them together.
Many have tried.
Few will win.
And you do find the cage trailing behind it did have cold iron bars, and was covered with a blanket that I would say Shay can pick up on this because they rolled 25, which I asked them to because I want a demon dice. And I will say, Shay, you discover an unladen aspect. The blanket of how not to be seen.
Okay.
And so yeah, it was basically just hitched to the back of this golf cart thing, and it looked like there was like a door on the back with a big, iron lock on it that someone lasered or melted or fired or lasered. What? But yeah, someone melted this lock clean off and just let the unicorns out? Well, except, you know, the one lying dead right outside this open cage door of the laying on its side cage.
Right.
And
Can I tell what upset the cart?
it looks like more laser blasts. Probably pushed the cart over. However, when you look at the unicorn, it's definitely been slashed up. And unlike with, well, the lasered guy, kind of, his wounds were cauterized, and it looks like, you know, things were sealed so they couldn't keep pumping blood, and he, you know, his brain
Yeah.
starved. Broken neck guy is kind of bloodied up. There is not a lot of blood on this unicorn. For all that its throat has clearly been slashed, and there might be mouth marks on it.
Like bite marks?
That's the thing. Like, yeah, with the 22, you can tell they're not bite marks. It looks like someone might have, like, cut it open, like, you know, a bag of Capri Sun that you lost the straw for, and just, like, sucked out the blood.
Okay.
Is it? Can we tell if it's magical? Of like what killed it? Or
It does look like a human-shaped mouth, but, you know, a lot of things look like humans in this world.
that's true. That's true.
We know of any of them that eat unicorn blood.
Well, it's daylight, so vampires probably not. Also, there's no fang marks, which are dead
Yes,
giveaway
why-
for vampires, so
Why would a vampire
Right.
need to slash something open?
that too.
Right.
I would like to call this scene
No.
aspect Humperdinck's recreation. So
I love it. I'm here for this.
And that's got 2 free invokes on it, because it was not a build an advantage roll, but a ridiculously high overcome roll. And so Shay, you are more specifically looking at and you see some of this too, just with like magic senses, but you're specifically looking at the dead bodies.
Yeah.
And I would say that you would have to fix them first. The guy with the sealed shut veins, like they've both been dead for about 2.5 to 3 hours, so maybe they, you know, I think you could just tell by dead bodies, like CSI Shay at this point. They were probably 15 minutes out from the cloisters when they got hit. Yeah. So at this point, you've been walking for like a half hour, and was like 2 hours. So yeah, it's a bit over 3 hours. So they're pretty freshly dead, but the crushed guy is pretty crushed. I'm not
so
saying
resurrecting them is going to be a messy job, but it's doable.
Yeah, definitely doable. Like, they're definitely fresh dead. You just, like, you're talking about making zombie minions rather than, like, restoring them to full health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's not a big deal. Like, the crushed guy would
I was
be
going
a little
for get
crawly
them
zombie.
back to sentience enough that they can still, you know, function in the world, because they're part of the Brotherhood. We have plenty of undead.
Yeah. Well, the crushed guy, his head is still intact. It's just not quite attached to the rest of his body anymore.
Casual.
Okay.
This is
now I'm just wondering
a comedy
how
of
fucked
terrors,
up
like,
it would be.
Yeah.
Resurrects just the head. Good news, you're sentient again. Bad news, you're gonna have to talk to R&D for a body again, because
like,
there was nothing I could do.
It's been done.
I mean, all you need to do is to, you know, get the head back on there straight so the nerves unpinch, and,
Well, it's also that
He's pretty
the
crushed.
spine is kind of busted
okay, fair.
at the neck. And a lot of his other bones are probably kind of broken. So he'd be a very crawly zombie.
Yeah, I think I'd
Dragging
be better
himself.
off just
What
bringing sentience back to the head and letting someone else in the Brotherhood deal with his recovery.
But you did accidentally build an advantage with 3 invokes on it, so you could use those.
Oh, I did.
You could use those to resurrect these guys now, like if you
Yeah.
wanted. But what do you want to call this this accidental advantage or
Um,
boost? Do you want me to come back to this?
yeah.
But you did accidentally discover aspect blanket of how not to be seen. Also, between the two of you, you also discover that one. So I would say Shay got such a high number. I would say you can both kind of tell that although maybe Rianne is better at interpreting what it means, you do see two distinct sets of cloven tracks. An aspect cloven tracks. An aspect. Well, another aspect is that there's definitely a big heavy pair of boots walking away from the dead unicorn after one of the other trails of cloven hooves.
What size?
Big.
So beyond standard size, big.
I would say this person could be a basketball player, so not like unreasonably oversized, but like this is a big dude or lady. This is a big person.
Is there any tread on the boots?
I. What do you mean, like the marks of the?
Oh, you know how it's the texturing on the bottom of the boots lets you grip like things and stuff. So like if you look at the bottom of Converse, you'll always find diamond patterns. If you look at the bottom of flip flop shoes, you find a ridged pattern.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, there are treads. They're kind of nondescript, but
Fair enough.
definitely look like hiking boots.
Okay.
Suggesting that this person knew they were coming to a forest today.
They prepared.
To the back. Okay, got that. Okay. So, any more questions about the scene?
I'm going to call my thing a necromancy mess because that's the best I can come up with right now.
Necromantic mess.
Yeah.
You can come back to these guys.
Not quite about the scene, but
other players, feel free to ask your teammates who are CSIing questions, and then we will just count that under these ridiculous rolls.
Yeah, do it.
Did we figure out what killed the people? Was it the unicorn creature thing, or was it something else?
It doesn't look like the. Oh, I can't really hear you, Zardoz.
One of them was killed by the crash. The other one was killed by whoever melted the lock off of the unicorn cage, if I'm reading the situation correctly.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the unicorns have murdered anyone. One of the unicorns was murdered. Or meant. No, it looks like murder. It's like all y'all instincts are like, this was premeditated unicorn slaughter, so.
Can we determine where the attack came from with CSI?
Would I be able to, like... I'm trying to think this through. Could I ask my skull friend, like, to see, like, if there's, like, any magic, or if he's able to see where it came from?
Or can you ask your skull friend why someone would drink unicorn blood? Who's not a vampire?
We could ask him that.
So
we can ask Bob that.
So from the agent's question, if you follow the boot prints, it definitely looks like this guy was hiding behind a tree.
Is there anything around there? Cigarette butts, food wrappers, anything of the shell casings, anything like to determine how long he'd been here, what he was waiting for?
Well, I was actually going to determine that with another roll because I hacked the cameras earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So if this is a guy of unusual size, he should show up on some of the cameras at some point around the edge. Mm-hmm. So at least when he got here, if not, if not footage of the tech itself,
And okay, so Avis, you wanted to consult with your dead friend.
I wanted to consult with my skull, Bob,
Bob.
and find out who or what would drink unicorn blood that is not a vampire.
Okay, so that I'll allow it because
So
it's 25.
okay.
So we'll just get it
Okay.
because then we move faster.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
So
Yeah. What?
it would be
says the
this would be
skull?
stunts, and I get a +2.
Oh, okay.
So I'm rolling careful mystic arts.
You can also, if Shay's okay with it, Shay built that, or no, Rian built the unicorn lore aspect, so you can
That's
also
true.
use a dice from that if you want.
I would recommend it.
Okay. What die would I use for that?
Extra d6.
All the extra dice are d6s, so pick an
Okay.
approach and the discipline.
That's what I thought. I wanted to make sure. So, all right. Then 15 + 2 is 17.
Okay. Hold on, I just forgot to set my alarm for the other half of the game. All right, so do you carry Bob like on your shoulder, or is he like in a bag?
I have so I carry a messenger bag that has like my wand my drumstick wand carelessly stuffed into it. Bob is just in there rattling around, and I pull him out and Hamlet style.
All right, what do you want? What do you want?
Hi, how's it going? I would like
your bag is really, really gross. What do you want?
Yeah, that's not my fault. You know the life I live. So anyway,
he somehow raises an eyebrow at you, despite being a skull.
Listen, Bob, I don't need your sarcasm or sass right now. We are trying to figure out, which is why I'm waking you up and asking you, hey, so what would want to drink a unicorn's blood that is not a vampire?
Anything else that wants to be immortal? Can I see the unicorn, or am I like, I'm just, in your, okay.
He has a spirit, a spirit presence that forms into a person. He wears a suit.
Yeah,
and so like he can.
Dresden?
No, I'm explaining this to.
That's good. Right now,
I'll point the skull. I point the skull at the unicorn.
All right.
Do you need to be any closer?
It's not a vampire because there's no fangs, but like anything that wants to like be immortal is gonna drink unicorn blood. Like most of them do that, I think.
Do you have any idea, like, how do I want to phrase this? Since it was slashed and bit, do you like?
Well, no, that's not a bite. That's just like a sword mark.
Okay.
That's like I got blood on my lips and accidentally kissed it because I had my mouth on its throat.
The normal things.
Yeah. Let me bring me closer. Bring me closer to the unicorn. I was like, yeah. Like, all right. Left.
I'm just like kneeling and studying this skull. I'm very curious.
Other left.
Other left. All right. So what it looks like was whatever this thing is, like, didn't just like drink it off the ground. It looks like it was basically like based on where the bloodied handprints are. Looks like it was holding the unicorn upside down when it was drinking it. So whoever did this, because that looks like a human mouth, like they're really fucking strong. So like think of any, magical or mad science-y person or entity that would want to be immortal on top of whatever other shit they got going on.
So from what Bob just said and the footprints, we can assume this dude is like strong.
Show me the bodies. Show me the other bodies.
Bodies. Here are bodies.
You can like summon their ghosts and like talk to them directly about what happened, right? Like
working on it.
Like, oh my. What? No, do you want me to analyze this crime scene or not?
Yes.
Then turn me back towards the crime scene, little Missy. Okay.
You started with the sass. Where do you think I got all my sass from, sir?
No, your sass would be way better if it came from me, okay? Point me towards the crime scene. All right. So, bring me up to the guy who looks like he's scared to death or whatever. Okay, dude. I'm gonna read you. Said you rolled a 17, right?
Yes.
Okay. Huh. Okay. And the skull is quiet for a moment and thinking things over. So yeah, you know how like death is held in the eyes?
Yes.
No, you didn't, but it is. Don't lie.
You act like I don't listen to you when you lecture me.
Because you don't. But yeah, listen now, maybe. So they hold their death in their eyes. So funny thing about eye-based magic is it kind of leaves a mark in the eyes. So yeah, this guy was eye magicked to death. Given that it looks like he was also lasered to death, then I would say some kind of magical dumbass who has magic laser eyes. Or eye. I only see one B. Maybe it's just one eye. So do you know of any magical assholes with one magic laser eye? Or science laser eye, I don't know. But
I'm gonna start plugging this into the Cypher app.
sure.
Yes.
This is going
I'll
the wrong
assist
way
with
around,
this.
but I love it.
I'm going to roll for my cameras and tap
The
my
wink
cameras
of
aspect.
doom.
The wink of
Alright.
doom.
Thanks, Arcane.
So we'll say Merc said that they were going to do that earlier. So I'll you roll first, and then Shay, you are plugging keywords into the database like one
Yeah.
eye, lasers,
Just-
evil, human
So-
question mark
15
human
exactly.
asterisk.
15 exactly to pick up my camera hack and
Okay.
see if anybody matching the description.
Did you use a dice from Camera Super Spy?
I did.
Okay, I just want to keep track of that. So I am the GM.
Appreciate you for it.
Yes. All right. So yeah, you can. It takes some doing, but with the 15, you don't see his face. What you see is like a 6'4" dude in a brown. It's not quite dark enough to be black, so brown or dark gray. Trench coat, but it moves like leather. And he's got like shoulder length, like light hair, but kind of so maybe gray hair. So maybe what you're getting is like the back of a really tall Mad Eye Moody. And he's just waiting behind this tree. I should stop referencing Harry Potter because problematic, but I can't stop. I don't even like the books that much, and I can't stop.
It has unfortunately become ingrained in our cultural norms.
So pervasive, I can't. Anyway, so yeah, you see this big tall big dude. So 6'4", so not inhumanly big, but big for a human. And he's waiting behind this tree, and the little golf cart and completely covered with this blanket. So actually the blanket comes across as kind of like fuzzy on the camera. Because magic. #magic. And so yeah, you see this guy basically seems to be pulling down glasses, and zzz, it just knocks the golf cart over, and the cage goes with it. And
So
you see a slight splut of blood from behind them because someone got crushed to death, and it is horrible. And luckily, this doesn't have sound. So, because
wouldn't be my first gruesome death on footage.
Yeah, and the guy driving the cart is basically going for some kind of firearm, but before he can, he's just like staring terrified at whatever this is coming at him, and he gets just lasered across the carotid artery and then lasered again in the chest, like one laser beam. It kind of just comes across as a beam of light.
Mm-hmm.
So this person
blink on, blink off.
Yeah.
Blink on, blink off. So this person uses magical glasses to do the laser.
Maybe he was doing something like up or down. You're not. It's kind of hard.
So it's okay.
Because he's got long hair, so you kind of can't see the glasses edge. But
Wind blowing through.
all of us who wear glasses know what that looks like. Because he's not wearing a hat. So it's not a hat. Yeah, so it's kind of harder to see. Somehow, maybe because #magic, the cart kind of falls at an angle where you just can't see what's happening inside the cage. Because it's kind of obscure. Happens to fall right behind a tree that is between. So it's like, that's a real magic blanket. Correspondence. Or fate. I don't know. Sphere magic is weird. And another game. Anyway. But you definitely get the sense of him, like, if you've ever seen someone do, like, lift up a keg and drink from it, you can see this guy's figure kind of doing that. Hefting something.
Okay, so the guy works out.
What happened? And the other two unicorns, what do they do?
They do eventually, like, you don't see one of them because it kind of is going past that tree that is a blind spot. Also, this area you're in now is way more overgrown since this happened. You could definitely tell that. You see, yeah, and the other one just kind of, goes out to the left and just kind of runs away because it's fast though. You assume it's a unicorn, it's really just a white blur or a light colored blur.
Fair.
But damn, though, that's just fast.
Fair. So, I of course show my compatriots the phone.
Yep, y'all gather around. It's really funny is I forgot security cameras were a thing in Fort Triumph Park. But it's working out to everyone's advantage, so I like it now.
Yeah. Am I pulling anything up in the Brotherhood database on
did you
people
roll
with
it?
these characteristics? I have not rolled it yet.
Yes, roll, but with +2 for the Cypher app.
Okay.
Because you kind of maybe have an AI on your phone that helps you.
Yeah. That will be a 12.
It's a little obscure because this is not someone who's affiliated or shows up very often. So I'm gonna say you might need a 15.
Okay. I'll roll a demon die.
Yay.
I'll roll a 5 on a demon die.
Yes.
So I'm at 17.
17.
Give me info.
Okay, and you get a 1 forward on this information. So what you get is a name comes up, Cathair, but it's definitely Gaelic because it's spelled Cathaoir, but it says in parentheses Cathair.
Okay. Love those Gaelic names.
Love those Gaelic names. Let's see. Oh, that's on his character sheet. Database. There's not a lot on him. The Brotherhood doesn't know how old he is, but he's been active or around for at least 200 years. Based on his affiliations with Fomorians and trying to bring him back, or trying to bring back the Fomorians, and the fact that he has evil eye beam powers, they suspect he might be a godling of Baelor, who is a Celtic god of evil.
Interesting.
And then there's a lot of other, so there's, tags in the database, tag, definitely fairy, tag, fairy, question mark? Because whenever you get into the Celtic stuff, it's everything in Irish myth is chthonic. So no one's sure, is it fairy, is it undead, is it another dimension in a fairy hill? We don't know. And also the Fomorians are in a ocean pocket dimension on top, so it's So this guy, he doesn't seem affiliated with any of the usual organized players, but once in a while he shows up trying to summon or bring out or do something to help bring the Fomorians back. in any land that they can lord over. And they think he's definitely got the blood of Baelor in his veins, because Baelor had evil eye beam powers, according to legend, and so does this guy.
I'd like to use my I'm a soul man stunt.
Okay. Spend faith die to draw upon the skills. Okay, so when it says spend a faith die, it means you don't roll it, you just give it away. But
Okay.
your other dice are brought up to D10s for the upgraded roll.
Yeah. To see if I can remember having crossed paths with this guy in the past, maybe killed him once, banished Baelor in a past life.
Okay, I would say this is going to be a Mystic Arts. Well, I mean, you're rolling 2 10s either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just roll 2 D10s.
20.
God damn it. So I'll say this is the same aspect that Shay unlocked, but now it's got 3 instead of 1. We'll just call it Cathair for now. Cathair Intel. So yeah, you remember kind of a guy of similar stature to the one in the video, but his hair was a dark brown. It was maybe like sometime like mid 1800s, and it was something about like Celtic mythology got really popular back then. Because the Brits were suddenly really into Greek mythology, and they're like, can we have an ancient mythology too? And so they both rediscovered Celtic myth, which is Irish, but no one wanted to talk about that part. And also, some people just made shit up and made a lot of money off of it because the population was so. That's kind of the same, let's say, literary tradition that spawned Aradnia, Queen of the Witches, and all that bullshit. That was bullshit. Hashtag ship on shoulder. Hashtag Ravenclaw problems. Anyway, god damn it, why Harry Potter? Anyway, so this guy seemed to be trying to start a Celtic, worship cult with the intention of bringing back the Fomorians, but basically trying to say that they were like titans in Greek mythology, and hoodwinking a whole lot of dumb, rich English people into following him. And you were part of a team. It's a little vague, but you were part of a team. But you foiled his plan, but not before like he took you. You were out by a lake body of water, by a lake, not even the ocean, and he summoned up just some really what the fuck kind of looking creatures. It's like, oh, those are Fomorians. Great.
Killed those before.
I will say, yeah. So, actually, I'm gonna bring this down to 2+ forwards because I'm gonna give you one for one of his aspects for free because of all the things you did to, yeah. So his trouble is that he's bound by Celtic lore. So it is not lost on you that there are 3 unicorns at large, and he is hunting the second one already.
Okay, we need to find the unicorns.
And so, like you said, like even from behind, this guy is clearly aged since you last saw him. So he might be long-lived like some godlings are, but he's not immortal. And he clearly hasn't brought the Fomorians back yet. So, yeah. He's trying to get that an extra discipline aspect of immortal, and if he can eat 3 unicorns, he wins. And you're not sure what he does after that.
Whatever the hell he wants, he's got all the time in the world.
Yep.
I'll explain the story to them about what happened the last time he was here.
Yeah.
Or the last time you encountered him.
Yeah.
I don't believe he was ever actually here in that. Because in the mid-1800s, you would have been in England. And this is Manhattan.
England. Okay, so,
I got spurs.
So what do you do now? You have 2 sets of unicorn tracks, one of which is being hunted by a dude. who is evil.
Well,
Rather
I set
evil.
the blue jay on the unicorns, so I will go and follow the boot tracks. If any of you care to follow me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come back to resurrect these guys later. At this point, another hour or so is not going to harm them further.
Okay. And you're just gonna leave them in a city park?
I mean, I'll
I would
put the
suggest-
blanket of don't look over them.
Yeah.
Players
That's
that
what
pick up
I
what I
figured.
put down! You get a faith dice for that! Yay!
If
Just,
the objective is to keep
Crime
people-
scene cover up.
cover up the bodies. Be like, make a mental note of where it is. Come back later.
Remember, this is where the bodies are. Okay.
Yeah, I'll make a mental note of the trees and ask my chipmunk friend if they know how to get back here.
Okay. So you are going after. So are you all going after the boot tracks?
No, I'm going to go after the lone unicorn.
Okay. I have prepared for this. So this is where we get into contest rolls. Okay, so
Yeah, I don't think the bond chases really apply at this point.
yeah, I mean, I just reread that, and I'm like, yeah, I could just use this thing. Okay.
Because none of us, as pedestrians, have a red line rating.
So we're gonna start with the Cathair's Prey version of this contest. So, all right. Brain was okay. So, of the three of you that are so who is chasing the boot tracks? Is Merc?
I was gonna follow Rianne.
Okay, so
I will go with
Agent.
agent.
okay, so good. So we'll start with Shay and Rianne because that's the hunt that shows up in my notes first. So we will
A
see.
logical choice to make.
So, you are effectively in a contest with Cathair, and so the first to three you basically have a roll-off. But because, Cathair has, what would I do? Cathair kind of has a drop on you, so he's already got one victory. He did get a head start. So the first one of you to get to 3 wins the roll-off. So between the two of you, you need to pick one of you to roll. Okay, so Rianne will roll.
I'm actively tracking.
Is,
I'm just here with my sword to make sure that, Rianne isn't tracking down a demigod question mark all alone.
yeah.
Seems like a bad plan.
And since I'm tracking, I will cleverly covert ops this, and I will...
Okay, and because there is the unfortunate Unicorn Woods aspect, tracking gets a little bit difficult. So you are aiming for a 15.
Right. I'll tap Unicorn Lore because this is Unicorn Woods.
Sure, that's cool.
What are the other aspects currently in play?
Unicarnivores, which is an equipment. Park surveillance, camera super spy. You actually did get a +1 forward on Unicorn Woods, if you want to use that. Talk to animals, chipmunks.
So I will go ahead and...
Recreation. Necromantic Mess. And Cathair Intel.
To get me started, I will use one off Humperdinck's Recreation and Unicorn Woods, and I will do so cleverly covert ops because I am tracking.
Okay.
Okay. And I will have to roll my d10 twice because I still only have one.
That's fine. Wow, Cathair, you suck.
That's 10, 12, 18, 21.
Oh wow. Okay, so I'm gonna say that's 2. Yeah, so you have definitely got. You are definitely getting the jump on him because he rolled a 6. So, so
Oof.
next roll. But if you want to use aspects, you either have to reload. You don't get to just use those aspects again.
Right. Okay.
So you can add more aspects, but then you use more dice from those aspects.
Right. Well, I'm going to use one from camera surveillance. And because I'm using the camera surveillance, I'm going to also tap my own aspect of top secret technologist's apprentice.
Okay, is that park surveillance or camera super spy?
Camera super spy. I think it had two
Yeah.
invokes on.
So now that one is out.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So that's okay. So that's 16, 22, 24.
He rolled a 16, but you rolled So you get the drop. You hit 3 victims. He started with 1 for 1 already, and you went. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I planned for this. Okay. So. Okay.
When you're
So.
rolling 2d10, you know.
Well, this is why you build up extra advantages all along the way and use lots of demon dice. And I used 2 demon dice. Okay, so you what happens? Wait, I wrote this down. This is why I write things down. Okay, so excellent news. You follow the boot prints rather than the cloven hoof prints, so you're effectively hunting him, and you get a sense of this big hulking dude, tromping quietly through the woods and having trouble because there's a lot more wood since it's been 3 hours since there've been unicorns here, and more than one. So he is stumbling about a bit. He is very easy to track, even with the forest growing back over his tracks as you track them. So you easily are. You end up. You are also easily hidden by all the because you did invoke Unicorn Woods before. He is. There is a unicorn alive in the middle of this clearing, just kind of looking around, weighing its options. It does not hear behind it the giant hulking dude that is creeping up with it with a great big ironish looking knife and a pair of cheap black 80s sunglasses.
Think it's time to get this out.
So yeah, what do you do?
I have the drop on him, do I not?
You do have the drop on him, so you will get to act first.
Okay. In that case, I would like to.
Do you want to? We only have 15 minutes left, so do you? I will roll the other scene while you were thinking about what you were going to do.
Yeah, because Rand's
Okay,
not a
so-
combat character.
Yeah. Great. But yeah, you will get the drop. Okay, so other half of
Yes.
party, Unicorn Prowler. You are rolling versus the Unicorn.
Yeah.
And what is your roll? This unicorn is rolling a much bigger dice pool because it is a unicorn. 10, 10. Girl fish, I'm just gonna start using them demon dice. Okay, so which one of you two is going to make the roll to track the unicorn?
I can do it.
Okay. What are you rolling? And what aspects are you tapping for extra d6s?
I know there's a couple unicorn aspects.
There's unicorn lore has one more on it.
Okay.
Multi-phase. I will allow you to use each other's. Well, I mean, you're both on the same. So multi-phase bullets, although that's maybe not quite yet.
That doesn't really work.
Park surveillance is still up because you're all in the same group chat on the Cypher phone thing.
Okay.
Unicorn Woods is off the table for you, unless you want to use a faith die. Chipmunks, talk to animals, Humperdinck's Recreation, and Necromantic Mess. Oh, and Cathair Intel.
Should use that one. Damn. Oh well.
I'll use the unicorn one since we're tracking unicorns.
Okay, so that is
And
3, so
then-
unicorn lore is done. And once again, this unicorn has the drop on you so far, so it's already got 1 victory.
Okay. So what I'll do, I roll an approach and a discipline, right?
Yes.
To
And
okay.
whatever an additional d6 for d6 for unicorn lore.
I
Okay.
mean, we were talking about Latin earlier. It could be a D6, and that would be fine.
You can also use one for park surveillance since you have it on your phone.
I'll do that too. Okay.
And
So I'm gonna.
Curious animal friends.
Talk
to animals.
Why not?
And chipmunks. Would you like to use either of those?
Talk to animals.
Okay. It's another d6. So you can you can hear the blue jay, and that is helping.
Okay. So I'm using.
Yes. So an approach and a discipline, and then I think 4 d6s.
I think I'm going to do it. Clever mystic arts. I think. That's rough. I have 13.
The unicorn rolled a 25.
Jesus.
So that's 2 victories for the unicorn. It is now roaming in its own woods, so you can follow it, and because a 13 is but you still need a 15 for a victory because unicorn woods. Would you like to add a demon dice?
Yeah, why the hell not?
Yahoo!
Got a 6.
Awesome. So that definitely beats a 15. So, good news. Well, no, actually, no. This is wait. What did I write down? This is that. Team wins. So team did not win. Team loses. Okay, so you don't find the unicorn, but on your way, the blue jay says, "Hey, there's another dead body." And you two are jogging through, and you come across what looks like a dead jogger, a man in his late 20s, like a dove gray kind of jogging suit. And it definitely looks like his ass was stabbed, and bits of him were bitten. Now you don't see a unicorn, you see a bunch of other parts, because he's right, like, on the asphalt road. And, he was stabbed by something in the liver. And there are
You said stabbed and bit?
Yeah, you definitely see some bite marks where his flesh was exposed. Not the same as a stab. Actually, no, it would have lifted the shirt up a bit. So yeah, on his abdomen and on his hands. And they're like,
so we can assume it's the unicorn.
I know what I want to do.
So yeah, and there are already civvies circling by go, oh my god! Like the shrieks, someone started shrieking just as you broke out of the forest, going like, what's going on? And people are already calling 911 on their cell phones.
Flash the badge.
We'll just say that works. I can go a bit over tonight if everyone else can.
I'm fine with that.
I can do that.
I'm cool with it.
So you flash the badge. Is there anything you would like to do aside from that? Oh my god, this poor baby! I think he's dead!
Check for a
You
pulse.
think?
Yeah, none of them
Check
are.
for-
They're like so scared they don't want to go. You can check for a pulse. That's
Just check for a pulse real quick.
I would say that is technically an R&D roll.
Yay.
So sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm not good at everything
Yeah.
or anything. That's okay. Not good at everything. 5
Yeah, you're gonna need a 10.
to know if he's alive.
Okay, good point. All right, yeah, you can. I usually don't make it, but it's like, okay, fine. Yeah, you're pretty sure he's dead.
Okay.
Like just now dead.
Fresh.
The blood is still spreading, which is why some people don't want to get any closer to him.
Okay. I will use careful and social engineering to control this crowd and get them away from here,
Mhm.
while Avis attempts to locate the bloody trail of the unicorn, which should have blood everywhere since it just stabbed a guy in the liver.
Oh yeah, that's easy to follow now. Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
I'll give that to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, make your social engineering roll, and then we will get on to Avis.
I have rolled a 12.
Okay, I would say these people really want to be assured and calm down. So you don't get any plus forwards, right? But everyone's like, "Oh my god, I did it. We need the police here. Oh my god, what should we do? Is there anything we can do to help? Oh my god."
You can clear the area, and you can wait over there at the other end of the park for where the police will be coming to take statements.
Okay. Oh no.
Meanwhile, Avis is just chilling.
You hear, out of the corner, bunk. Bunk. And then they see, you notice the chipmunks see this, and they come over, and one starts clearly doing last rites, but he's doing it. So you're speaking to animals, but he is clearly speaking in Latin. So you don't understand the Latin. But the little chipmunk is giving him last rites.
Okay.
So that's
there's
nice.
okay.
Classical or ecclesiastical?
That's very nice of the chipmunks.
They're New York chipmunks.
That's really
whatever works.
That's really nice of the chipmunk to give the dead jogger last rites.
Honestly, that's amazing.
I want to know, does the little chipmunk have like one of those like sash things also?
I don't know what you mean by a sash thing.
So there's like for last rites.
Oh, the long thing. No, he doesn't, because he's just a monk.
Okay.
Different health plan. Everything else is
different health
or
plan.
same health plan. Everything else is entirely different. But
I want to. I love it. I'm here for this.
He does have tiny beads, you think, but they're so tiny. You're not even sure what makes beads that small, except, well, chipmunks. So.
Tiny pebbles that they find.
Rosary.
Tiny rosary.
All right, I know what I want to do.
Wrong kind of slash? What? How is this slash? These are ecclesiastical chipmunks. Okay, so, alright, so you were doing that, okay, so...
I know what I want to do.
Alright, before we get I'm gonna say, let's say Avis, you do follow, because the bird's like, the unicorn's still this way, it's got blood on it, do I still get food?
That's important.
Do I still get food?
Rummage through my bag and find some very stale peanuts.
Awesome! And he continues helping you. And the chipmunks are kind of following along on the ground, going like, "There's a
Are they
unicorn
still
over there."
speaking Latin, or are they
Well,
just
that one
following?
stayed behind to finish last rites, and the rest are going with you.
I just have a group of chipmunks following me. This is a normal
In
night.
little monk
Hey,
robes.
let's go. I'm happy
I'm happy as can be.
So I'll say that, just to get things moving, you find the unicorn in another clearing, vastly overgrown, and it's just kind of like licking its lips, which are bloodied. Same color scheme, everything as the dead one, except, it's got blood. This one has blood on its horn and its mouth.
Because it killed.
It did a murder.
It committed a murder.
And yeah, so you're a wizard. What do you do?
I am a wizard.
Before it kills again!
Or
So
before
I
it gets
have-
killed.
I have my wizard staff hockey stick.
It's just sort of staring at you, like it's not, like, it ain't bothered. I ain't bothered.
Ain't even bothered.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does the speak with animals thing work with the unicorns?
Ooh, yes. I want to know.
I will say you can make a mystic arts roll and invoke that, but doesn't seem quite the same. But you definitely
Okay.
get a sense that this is an animal, just a magic one. Though not
So
a
if you,
fey one.
if you put a little bit of your own magic into it, it should work.
Yeah, so if I put a little bit of my magic into it, it should work since it is an animal. And maybe if I'm able to talk to it and understand it, I might be able to get it to not kill me too.
I mean, it
I would
doesn't seem like it's going to thus far, but you're both just sort of standing across the clearing from each other, like looking at each other. A
And it
unicorn
did
in the
just
woods.
kill, and so it also did just grow, and I don't know if it wants to grow more.
Grow?
Bro.
I thought you said it got bigger.
No, it just got bloodied. In
Oh, got
different
bloodied, okay.
places. Because it
Okay, it
killed
did just
someone.
okay. I misheard.
The pool of blood was getting bigger.
There we go. Okay,
'Cause
there's
he
mine.
was still bleeding to death. Or
Yes,
had died,
okay.
but was still bleeding.
Okay.
Because horror game.
um,
Once
I
the
want
craft
to-
is controlled, I will catch up to Avis.
I'll do a clever mystic art
Okay, and you
to
can
try to
use,
speak.
You can use a die on talk to animals for an additional d6, and then that one is out.
Do that. $12.
Okay, I'd say that's enough. I mean, yeah, you have already been talking to animals. You can hear like 10 of them right now.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
the blue jay that's sort of like perched on a tree and the chipmunks are the only animals here. Like, it sounds like other animals have cleared the fuck out, because what the fuck is going on?
apparently
But you
chipmunks and
heard-
blue jays
Yeah.
are
Hardcore.
You heard
They
some
don't-
squirrels on your way in here going, "The fuck is that? No way! Get out! Go!
Get me
Running
out
away
here!"
now! Bye! I'm over here now!" But yeah, so, it's not saying anything to you, but you get a sense that you could understand it. And you
I
also get a
want-
sense that it can understand you, and that it probably already could. You have a sense of if your character has ever talked to a wolf. The feeling you get looking into you get that idea of, like, this is an
the
animal.
looking into each other's souls.
Yeah. This is an animal, this is a predator, but it's a predator that understands what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
But does not
So-
have a humanity track, so to speak.
Do I need to?
So,
How far away am I from it? Do I need to yell at it?
you're like 10 feet away.
Okay, so I just need to talk loudly at it. Hi, I'm a wizard. We're trying to find you to save you.
Am I in danger?
Yes, there is a very large man who has laser eyes who killed a unicorn earlier. And two of our people went that way to find him, and two of us came here to find you to protect you from him.
You get the sense that Unicorn is a little skeptical that it's really in danger, but one of my fellows is dead.
Yes.
On a thing. Very well. You do not smell innocent enough to eat, so I will follow you.
Thank you.
You are staring into the cold, dead eyes of a killer. The cold,
Thank you for
despondent, so over it eyes of a killer.
Bob's just in my bag going, what are you doing?
Dude, let me out. I want to see it.
Okay, Bob, you want to see?
Yeah.
Rummages in bag.
Let me out
Yanks
of the
out
bag.
skull.
Wow,
Look
that's
at
fucked
Unicorn.
up. That is so fucked up. Cool.
We need. Don't mind him. Just throws him back into the bag. Hears him clunk against the drumstick, and it's just like an ow. What? Why? Hits the bag, gets him to shut up.
The unicorn
Stick
just
over
sort
the
of
shoulders.
looks at you like almost quizzically, but it's not like it cares enough to question. That kind of detached unicorn attitude.
This is just a normal day in my life. I have a talking skull that likes to talk back. Let's go.
Very well, wizard. Lead on.
So, us tracking back, we meet up with Agent. We'll like meet halfway on his like.
Yep.
Way
Avis is walking, and there is a unicorn following her, and it's got blood
Hello.
on its mouth and on its horn.
Found the unicorn. Do you have a name? I want to ask you. Does he have a name?
We do not use names.
Okay.
Names.
So you're just fine with being called. So you're just fine with being called unicorn.
That
just want to make sure. Cool. Found the unicorn. Found unicorn.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. He trusts us a little bit. He trusts me a little bit. But do you trust him? Ish.
Let me.
I'm tired. He is also here to help protect you.
My hand is reaching into my pocket.
I mean, you certainly don't smell innocent.
This is in my best interest.
I
do not like being caged by the hunters, but I suppose it's better than being killed by another hunter.
Right.
Fair.
Sick.
And I did get to feed, although not to my liking, in captivity.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry about that.
I would rather not be captive.
Would you prefer to be a guest?
I do not understand the difference.
As a guest, you would be well taken care of.
Actually, the unicorn understands you, but you have to talk through Avis.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fine. What is the difference?
A guest. Yep, you go. Oh.
I guess we would consult and ask questions out and learn more about and provide better care. Perhaps we could find things that are more in line with your diet, things that you would prefer to do, a nicer place to live rather than being stuck in a cage all day.
I should note that under magical laws, guests also have more rights than captives. Like a lot more.
I was going to say, archaic rules of hospitality probably apply, but I'm not here, so I didn't want to say anything.
Fair. Yeah.
Hears through the mist.
Ancient laws of hospitality!
Oh, hey, that's a thing.
Ancient laws of hospitality play into a lot of like Celtic tradition and also other traditions from that region, and
Whoa, but I can break them.
I desire the blood of the innocent.
do you need to actually kill the innocent person, or do you just take blood?
Kind of cocks its head. I do not know. I have never
Perhaps-
drunk the blood. I have never consumed the flesh of the innocent that I have not killed before.
Perhaps we can work out an interesting arrangement where this is mutually beneficial for everyone, and you are protected.
Agent, you can make a social engineering roll with this unicorn.
This is amazing.
Because it can understand what he says. So, which is a little creepy, because he didn't cast the spell, and this unicorn can still clearly understand what he's saying.
Would that be careful or clever?
It sounds like, I get the sense that you're being careful because this is, a killing machine.
Yeah, my hand is still on the it's still on my revolver, yes.
Full of magic bullets. Semi-magic. Or anti-magic. So, yeah.
I rolled an 11. I'm going to roll some demon dice for the hilarity of it.
Woohoo! Hilarity!
I'm going to spend 2. That puts us to 20.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Okay.
Solid.
So that's 2 plus, since this is an overcome for, we'll say unicorn compliance. On the third one, times 2. So you now have 2 faith dice on unicorn compliance. So it's like, very well, hunters. I will go with you. But you have made a promise. If you break with that promise, there will be consequences.
There are always consequences.
Yeah.
And it just, will now slowly follow you, whatever you want to do with it. You do still have the cage.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
We'll get back to the zoo.
So while you're figuring out what y'all are going to do with that unicorn, we're going to go back to the other clearing. And so, Shay
Yes.
made a
and Brienne
plan.
I know what I'm doing now.
Have a drop on this guy who sucks.
I'm going to where's my character sheet? Cleverly covert ops. And use my stunt, one of those faces, to try and disguise myself as the Morrigan.
I'll allow it, but you have to hit. I'm gonna say you have to hit a 20 to convincingly be the Morrigan.
Okay, in that case, I'm also going to tap my stunt, Specialist Nobody of Mystery. What else we got? I want to tap his trouble. I want to tap his trouble aspect, bound by Celtic tradition. I want to tap my the Cathor lore, whatever the fuck that is.
Cather Intel. Okay.
Yes, that's it. All right, and I think that's all the faith dice I can just. I
mean, you have the Unicarnivore's equipment, so you have some blood on you.
Fair. Okay.
If you need it for additional dressing, but that does use up that 1 plus forward.
Fair. Okay, I got some dice in here.
Okay, so you want to use the Unicarnivores?
Yes. Okay. Still going to roll a d10 twice.
Okay.
The feeling of 4 solid metal d6s. So that's 8, 9. 1 is not spent. 10, 9, 14. 8 and 7 is 15, plus 14 is 29, plus 1 is 30!
Awesome.
Wow.
And I am now disguised as the Morgue.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just for the okay. So that's for the disguise. Plus 30.
Yes.
So that's
There we go.
I love it. I love this.
so that's 4 invokes on I'm the Morrigan.
And I'm going to swan directly behind the guy and go in my scariest voice. What do you think you are doing?
Okay. So he turns around. Okay. So now this is going to be a social. So what do you want him to do, basically?
I want him to pay more attention to me than he does to the unicorn, while Shay sneaks around behind, talks to the unicorn, and talks the unicorn back the fuck to the zoo, essentially.
Okay, so make a social engineering roll.
Okay? I'm going to do so cleverly. I'm going to tap my aspect, I'm the Morrigan.
Yes,
Love this.
that's why I said
I'm
that.
so
that
here for this.
And one more from his Cathay or Intel.
Okay, and that one's out of invokes. So this guy is going to use what is he gonna? Clever is a D6, and depth perception is a D4. Hashtag Baylor problems. But he's going to add invoke Harbinger of the Fomorians, Magic Eyeballs, and Battle Lord. So that's me using 3 demon dice.
Okay, here we go. Shit. Sorry. I'm trying to keep that at the camera. Come on. Okay. 6, 15 plus 7 for 24.
Why do my NPCs just suck at rolling today?
Because you want us to succeed.
True. What did you roll, Merc?
24.
Okay, so
Well, really, it's just the same NPC sucking a lot.
yeah, so he rolled a 13 on 5 dice. You're
Wow.
all fired.
Oof.
You're all fired. You don't belong in that bank. So he's like, so you definitely get a sense. You can't see his eyes behind the sunglasses, but he's like, I'm sorry, my queen. I did not know you were in New York.
I go what I will, especially when blood is spilt. What are you doing here?
I seek immortality to continue the work of my father, or of the ascension of my father. Therefore, I must consume the blood of 3 unicorns to become immortal. Please give me blessing on my quest. I will make great sacrifice to you in the blood of these creatures that are themselves deadly and mighty hunters.
I cannot give my blessing to those who would not fight their opponents in open battle, but instead strike cowardly from behind. Shay, get the fuck moving!
Shay, get the thing!
Yeah.
So this is happening. Shay, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
I'm going around and I'm like gesturing to the unicorn, making sure that the unicorn's aware of the bullshit. It's like waving, come here.
You can't. That'll take a social engineering roll because this unicorn
Okay.
understands you as stated in the previous
I know,
scene, but you
I
can't
just-
actually hear it.
Yeah, and I don't want to speak too loudly lest I
Yeah.
break Rien's gag. So.
Oh, shit. Oh, well.
We're going a little over tonight, but I think it's worth it.
Well,
going
no, I
to-
rolled a 32 to disguise myself as
Yeah.
a Morgan because I forgot the bonuses.
Oh. I'm gonna tap my unicornivores and
But
invoke a little.
Merc already did that for the
Oh,
for
okay.
the Morrigan disguise. Unless you want to use
That's
a
fine.
an extra faith die to invoke that, which I
No.
would allow. Okay.
Sorry, I was using
No, that's fine. I just didn't note it.
like this
Um,
disguise has to be foolproof.
Yeah.
Because I'm well within smiting range of this guy.
I'm going to.
I mean, you still have
This-
two dice on chipmunks.
Yeah. And I can do this quickly and get a +2 to overcome the obstacle, because I would say that this has an unavailable conventional solution. I could talk to the unicorn, but am I going to? No.
Okay.
We've made a very unconventional situation here.
On the upside, it doesn't seem like it's making to attack you. It's just sort of staring at
Yeah.
you like, what? What? And, you know, the cold, despondent, detached eyes of a cold-blooded killer.
I mean, I'm not sure being run through would inconvenience Shay that much.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Is there anything the chipmunks can do to help me out with getting the...
Well, there's still that one in your pocket, and he's like, look, I could try to talk to it.
Okay, I'll take help from...
Because that
from
guy
chipmunk
can't
then.
understand me, so it'll just be like...
Yeah, I'll send the chipmunk over to be like a proxy, go tell this unicorn what's going on.
And what the plan is to get the hell out of here.
But
Mhm.
yeah, so it's still... You're still making the social
Yeah,
roll,
and
but the
I'm still
chipmunk is
making the
helping.
roll, but, yeah. So... I could roll pretty decently here. That's great. We're at 15. I'm gonna be like, go tell that unicorn about the other bodies, the other dead unicorn, and that guy's going to kill the unicorn.
Got it.
We're distracting him as much as we can, but there's only so much we can do.
He kind of, you know, muscles himself up. I'm do this.
I believe in you.
That guy over there is gonna kill you. These are our Brotherhood hunters, but they're nice and they don't want to kill you. And maybe they can find you a nicer place to live. Maybe? Are you gonna kill me? Yeah? Huh. Interesting. Okay, but can come with us? So what did you roll?
I rolled a 15.
Okay, the unicorn, rolled a 7, so the unicorn's like, it's like it doesn't have shoulders like a human, but it's like it shrugs and just sort of like quietly follows along, like silently. These things make no noise when they move. Yeah, and the chipmunk comes up and perches back in your pocket. It knows you're dead, and says you sound less delicious because you've done harm.
Shit.
Not the Morrigan disguise!
Anyway, so the unicorn is following you wherever you're leading it.
Yeah.
Rian, what do you do?
Keep bullshitting.
Yeah,
I cannot
will, explain to the unicorn, like, oh yeah, I am kinda dead, you know.
It can understand you, but
Yeah,
I guess
no.
you can't hear it because it's not.
Yeah, I can't hear
yeah,
it,
okay,
and
that's fine.
I mean, I could cast a spell and
It's really creepy.
try to understand, but
It's
I don't
creepy
think it's
too,
necessary
but
at this
is
stage.
Really creepy.
So I'm basically just gonna keep stringing Cathair along for as long as humanly possible. When he finally realizes he's not gonna get anything from the Morgan, that's when the problems start.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna
What do
text the group as we get far enough away and be like, I've got one of the unicorns following me. Rian might need some help.
the two college students have the unicorns. Each unicorn has a self-control of 4. What could go wrong? So, is anyone running to help Rianne? I'll just, like, you get there.
Since the unicorn that we have understands me, maybe I shouldn't go and I should stay with the unicorn.
Yeah, if you and I can meet up, we can get this unicorn to also follow you, and then Agent and I can go back and help Brienne.
We should do that and
I mean-
avoid where where that jogger was killed.
I would
Wait,
first,
what?
before anybody sends back to help Brienne, I would like to roll to extract myself from the situation.
Yeah, because you can
Peacefully.
probably do that, but if you can't, we need to be on hand to
Fair.
you know, make sure you're not fighting this guy alone. Because as we know, you are not built for combat.
Yeah.
This
I would point out
character
the
once
agent's not
pretended to.
built for combat either.
Oh, I'm not either, but
Rian once successfully pretended to be a mini Shoggoth while a swarm of them was attacking their team. It was amazing.
That
Right.
sounds amazing.
So that was my defense against the Shoggoths, because they wouldn't attack one of their own, right?
Oh, yeah, no, they're not. You're not. Oh,
That makes sense.
you're not a tasty flesh bag. Okay, back to destruction.
All
All right,
Yep.
so roll to extract yourself from the situation. Is that a stunt you have, or
No, it's not. It's going to be a social engineering roll
Yeah,
to gracefully end the conversation essentially, and swan off
swan,
like more.
Swan off.
black swan.
I'm gonna tap my I'm the Morgan disguise. Oh, I think that's all I can tap, unfortunately. Think about a faith dice. Okay, well, so that's not bad. 20. A 9, a 6, and a 5.
Yeah, I'll just say, yeah, it works. Is like, what is your closing statement to this godling, child of Baelor?
Child of Baelor, you have sought my blessing upon your quest, and you have drunk deep of at least one unicorn's blood. But I do not see your prey here, and you have nothing to show for your previous victories beyond some slight measure of power. You are unworthy of my blessing, and you are unlikely to succeed. And I will just take my cloak, which I didn't have before, but I have a cloak because I'm not a Morgan, and I'm just gonna sweep and turn around and just swan off through the bushes.
Yeah, he rolled snake eyes, so he totally was just like, what the fuck? And he's like, wait, my prey is gone? And so as you just sort of scurry off into this thick unicorn wood, you just hear, like, all of you hear this Gaelic howl of pain and rage and anger as you have hoodwinked this child of Baelor who is at least 200 years old and sought immortality only to find his bloodied cup empty, or only 1/3 full.
So Rian's gonna text back, have successfully escaped. We'll rendezvous.
Okay, so he's
send you just a thumbs up emoji.
so he's
Got it.
yeah. So what do y'all do with the 2 unicorns you do have and the bodies? Well, the bodies that the public hasn't found yet.
Well,
'Cause,
I'll
yeah,
head
by
back
now
to
the
the
cops
bodies.
are here.
Why don't we meet at the bodies that are under the blanket of hiding?
While we're walking, I'm going to
Sounds
have
like-
Avis translate the unicorn's requests, since they're now guests instead of prisoners.
We desire the blood of the innocent.
I know, I'm writing it down for them so that we have an official note for what they want when we get back to HQ.
Right. When I come up to the group, I'm still disguised as the Morgan, so like this super creepy, grimdark Celtic goddess swans.
Shadows and feathers and blood.
I'm gonna be like, oh fuck the Morrigan, like really over the top
What?
comedy.
I've got 6 magic bullets. This might work.
No.
There's
I
another
reach
one.
back and, like in that very good cartoon style, just grab behind my head and pull the entire thing off, and all comes off at once. And underneath is just the Brotherhood disguise. Where's the pin? There's the pin.
Avis is not phased by any of this.
That was amazing, Rianne.
And like when you look down, it's just like a couple of black scarves on the ground, and that's all that's left of the sky.
Some scarves.
You don't know where the feathers went. You don't know where the shadows came from, but they're gone now.
So yeah, you have the two Omega bodies and the two alive unicorns and a dead unicorn. What do you do?
I want to know if there's anything like proper that we're supposed to do with dead unicorns.
Who or what do you ask?
I'm asking the unicorns because Avis can probably still translate their response.
I mean, the chipmunks can too.
Is there a
Chipmunks
proper?
can too.
Is there a proper procedure that we should do for your friend,
Procedure?
or like procedure, not procedure? Like
How do we treat your
Funeral.
dead?
Funerary rites.
How do we?
They are dead. They are just flesh now.
Okay, as long as we aren't
Cool.
gonna offend you.
Which cool.
They don't really seem to understand the concept of offense.
We didn't want to make you mad.
And they are both kind of not understanding, like, mad?
Never mind. Never mind.
I will note that as a previously government agent, Rian probably smells the worst to the unicorns out of all the people here.
Yeah.
That's saying something, because I'm literally dead. Or sort of.
Do you put,
Yeah.
Do you put the cart and cage ensemble back together?
I think that's probably the best way to get across back to the warehouse door where our Omega friend is
Okay.
on.
Question,
Yes.
because Avis is chaotic. Am I able to ride a unicorn?
They do not allow that.
Okay.
Like, you made
I
a
wanted to
motion
know.
do it, and the other one like suddenly
Well-
their look goes from detached and over it to
My bad.
might kill you.
I have this like dream list of things I want to achieve before I get killed. I will just take that off my list.
Mike, I recommend that we disguise the card somehow. If the child of Baylor found it the first time, he can find it again.
Yeah, I could put some like disguising runes on the cart and.
You are not innocent enough to consume, but do not test our patience. It says to Avis.
You want to know what he said?
I can guess.
Got it.
Oh, I got frozen meat from the warehouse way back.
Yes,
It wasn't an advantage. It was just to grab. It was just to have.
I mean, you
So I'm-
also have those two freshly dead bodies.
I'm gonna pull out the
Yeah, I
meat
mean,
I
we
grabbed
can-
from the
Oh, you
From
take
the
out the
warehouse.
frozen meat.
pulls out of pocket.
Take it from me. Losing some blood while you're dead is not a big deal.
Hey, my friend came prepared and brought some meat, frozen, that has blood. Do you want it?
The unicorns kind of look at each other and like, it is adequate.
Sweet. Why don't you
We are not
chow down
pleased
on
as
that.
guests.
Why don't you chow down on that while Shay gets the cart ready?
They just
Roast
sort of
the meat.
despondently like eat the bits of frozen meat, and they're not happy.
Hmm.
Sorry, that's the best we got right now.
This is not our place of residence. While you are our guests, we do not have the provisions here to adequately support your appetite. They will be provided back at the warehouse.
Very well.
Am I getting the idea that the unicorns want to eat me, just out of curiosity?
According to what Fran said, that they were being fed meat, but she didn't really specify what kind.
Yeah, but I'm the divine manifestation of peace and protecting the innocent.
Yeah,
Protecting
protecting
I
the
don't-
That
I don't
doesn't
get
make
that-
you
that
innocent
notion that-
yourself.
Nah.
Do you want to do a an I'm a soul man roll?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if I've ever been killed by these things before. 12.
So, yeah, this one time you were a completely pacifist saint, and you remember dying. And this is possibly in that weird time between the Romans and the Middle Ages, somewhere in Europe, maybe England, maybe not. You were you were someone who would eventually be seen in retrospect as a saint. And you were very much a pacifist and a talker and kind of a very Jesus-like, not with the some miracles, because whatever, brotherhood, but more with the getting people to talk things over and less with the killing. And back then in the brotherhood, you could kind of get away with it. And that you was stabbed through by a beast that looked a lot like one of these guys.
I'm gonna ask
And you
them
never
about.
really figured out why that happened. Like, what?
I'm gonna see if do a little bit of a backtracking with them about their
Because you
history.
were all like, "Oh wow, this symbol of ancient purity," and whoops.
See if we can get our stories to line up.
So what do you ask the unicorns?
Do you remember? I've just kind of described the person at the time. See if one of these two unicorns was actually the person that killed me.
Um,
They're reasonably intelligent.
they look at each other. Possibly.
It was just quickly looks between the unicorns and
we've
Agent.
fed off many members of the clergy of Europe.
Yeah,
Because
that tracks.
most of them have done, at the time at least, had done no harm. And that is what we desire, the blood and flesh of the innocent.
You're
Freshly
not feeling,
killed, if possible.
you're not feeling that way right now, are you?
No. You hunters have done great harm.
Just
Indeed.
check. Just making sure.
The other one's like, it smells of freshly baked bread. Innocence. And it looks kind of off into the distance, and you hear some children laughing.
No.
It pretends it wasn't looking that way.
I will casually
taken
walk to where
care
I'm
of.
standing between them and the children so that my stink covers it up.
Yep.
You will be
Stop.
taken care of, but you will not eat children.
Strategically standing upwind of them so they have to smell me.
And listen, I was a burglar. Even I have my standards. I will not let you kill a child.
But they smell delicious.
Yeah.
I'm just standing in the wind as it blows my scent
Just-
towards them.
Okay,
No. Ignore him.
Well, all this is happening. You manage to get the little caravan put back together. And you put the blanket back over. Where do you also stash the bodies in the cage? Because the unicorns aren't interested in eating them, but they're like they don't seem to care.
I mean, yeah.
Unless you
'Cause
want to
it's probably-
reanimate them now.
I
But
was gonna
that's
say
your roll.
I could just reanimate them here, and yeah. At this point, the most dangerous things wandering around here are presumably no longer wandering around. Well,
Because they are still around. We need
he's
to get
still
them-
around, so
Yeah,
you're
we need to
yeah,
get
you're
out.
right. I don't want to resurrect these people here. That's a bad plan. We'll take them back, and
Okay.
I'll deal with that
So the
later.
fastest way is to go back down this asphalt path that this cart did not seem to be planning to go, which is how it ended up here in the first place. So what route do you guys try to use to get out? Because there are actual cops here now, because someone did get stabbed to death by, one of the witnesses says, a horse? Like, I thought it bit him, but it goes all the way through. What?
I vote asphalt path with whatever concealing magic we can do.
Okay. Avis?
Question. Since I used to be a burglar, I would possibly know a spell that could like see if I could find like one specific kind of like person, so like cops. And so could I cast a spell to like with my hockey stick staff,
So we can
just
avoid
like
the cops.
just walk in a circle, like just spin in a circle to find out where all the cops are, and so we can avoid those paths.
You know, I'll allow it, but that'll take a 15.
Okay.
But you've also got to use
So-
up all the rest of your dice. Well, I
Right.
don't know that you have that
So
many left, but
so that's gonna be Mystic Arts.
you can
I'm gonna do
use
Sneaky.
You can use chipmunks. I think you have 1 dice left on those.
I'm gonna do it
because they will help
sneaky.
you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use chipmunks.
Not with the
So I'm gonna do
sorcery, but with the information.
Finding work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do Sneaky Mystic Arts since this is from when I used to be a burglar. Where's my D10? There's my D10.
Actual
and then
possible. I kill a lot of people.
and then one from chipmunks.
Just flashing back to, Princess Bride. You killed my dearest love! It's possible, I kill a lot of people.
I am 1 off. I got a 14.
Okay. I mean, you could use
die,
a demon.
demon, die.
I'll just demon die.
Yeah. I can't use them now anymore because
Yeah.
Got a 2.
unless we
So
want to play till
16.
11. Okay, so yeah, you can basically plot a path, and you've got the blanket of "Don't look here," and yeah.
I'm just walking
So
with
you
my
can-
hockey stick
yeah.
like a dowsing rod.
Yeah, you can mostly go down the asphalt path, and then like up the hockey stick sticks up and is like, no,
Just
not
like
this
starts
way.
vibrating crazily.
And it's like, no, not this way.
Okay, not-
and you're like, okay,
not
we go
that way.
around,
Got it.
And yeah. And there's EMTs and more cops and stuff, but you managed to get past them. And yeah, so then you bring this interesting caravan to the warehouse door where that dude, it's now been like 4 or 5 hours, and that dude is still standing there with his foot in the door.
Hey guy, what's up?
Uh,
How's your foot?
Okay, where did you find my chapter mate buddies?
Yes,
Bad
unfortunately.
news.
Yeah, about
He,
that.
he picks
I
up
can try to
the
resurrect
blanket.
them.
He's like, oh shit, did the unicorns do this?
No.
No, a
No.
Fomorian did.
200-year-old Celtic demigod. That was fun.
Okay, let's just get them into the warehouse. And he just like opens
Yeah.
the 2 double doors and like, and we're just like, and if you can help him hold the doors open, like we just go through and go into the warehouse. And you have completed the mission. Mostly.
Woo.
You were too
Mostly.
late for that one unicorn, but then,
Here's their requests.
Oh yeah, requests. They had requests.
Yeah,
Unicorns had requests.
they wouldn't be the only creatures in a warehouse zoo that has special dietary requirements that maybe were not being met. Although technically, I think someone Arcane the Sage, so the cows were innocent. The cows were, because one of the guys also had the notes from whoever the caretaker was, but they're seem to be anonymous. It's weird, but and they like kept a notebook, and it was like, why? It looks like yeah, whoever it was just feeding them like cow meat, and they were okay with it. But he's like, I don't open that cage because they will kill me. My death lies in that cage. And it's like, yeah. Although, and the second that cage was open, they bolted and didn't even go back for their buddy.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, and yeah, it's between Avis still translating and everything else, it seems like the unicorns are irresistibly drawn to people who have done no harm to consume them. So
Charming.
not virginity, but people who haven't killed or done horrible things to people.
Like Rob.
If our
Yeah,
zookeeper buddy wants to be safe, He can help me with my necromancy ritual to resurrect his teammates, because that's gonna be a little fucked up.
We'll say that is the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Zookeeper
I'll come up with what happens there, and maybe we can mess with it later, but...
the one guy who got eye-beamed to death, which you didn't even get to see, was like, that... He permanently has a look of terror on his face. But aside from that, they're functional zombies.
The very last, the post credit scene is Rien writing something in a manila folder, closing it, setting it on a desk, sliding it over, and then it cuts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I trust Rianne to be dependable in the field. Do not trust Rianne but beyond that.
In the office setting?
Okay, so that's game. We ran 40 minutes over. Oh well, I have no life. Anyway,
It's not terrible.
So, thank you for watching and hanging out with us and sticking with us this long. We don't usually play this late. Someone, look for someone we can... Oh wait, no, I can have this open now.
Yeah.
So, yay. And people are streaming tonight, I think. The Dice Cult's doing Call of Cthulhu. There are a bunch of DJs. Hyper is a rerun. Don't know what Dark Salem is. Oh no, that's a DJ. But yeah, so if you'll stick around while we do our outro, someone look for someone to raid, or we'll just do Dice Cult again, because they also stream tonight. And they usually stream creepy horror stuff like I did today. So I don't know. I try to do more horror. I thought, yes, these are not the unicorns you are thinking of. Because, yeah, they're somewhat based on a Catherine Valenti version of unicorns in The Orphan's Tales. Where it's like, yeah, that pointy thing is for spearing people. Who knew?
I mean, you do what you can, what you got. That's what normal horns are for.
Hashtag evolution. And now the Brotherhood can study them more closely and more effectively than whoever was taking care of them before.
The crazed maunderings of one dude in a journal, so...
Yup. And you have some chipmunk friends.
You discover the chipmunks of Manhattan.
Yes.
Did everyone have a good time? New players, do you want to come back?
Oh, I'm so down. Anytime I get to play a chaotic wizard.
We probably wouldn't be playing Demon Hunters Comedy Tears again. We're doing the NWAD, but...
Well, I mean, this is our occasion. We'll talk about it, but, yes,
Yeah.
are you interested in coming back and gaming with us weird folk?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So we'll see them again. One way or another.
Yeah.
Yay! And so, yeah, so hi, I'm the GM, Ms. Chrysala on all the social medias, and usually all the Magic Fish Radio social medias, because I do all the social mediums, social mediums, and medias, and all the game stuff, and all the stream stuff, and all the Photoshop stuff, and I don't have a life. And I'm an extrovert, so 7 months in total isolation, and I'm dying inside. So thank you for watching my game, because I need it. Care and feeding of your extrovert. That was much more depressing than I was planning on. But yes, thank you. We usually run an NWAD game called Exit to Eden, which is set in New World of Darkness in space! Where it is not quite as zany as this, but I usually try for, like, a leverage level of zany. Because I can't do dramatic, no smiling in my game bullshit, because I just can't.
We still get to pull some bullshit.
Oh, yeah. And I think it was still pretty nicely horrifying that, murderous, psychopathic unicorns. I think I did a good in the horror column today.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
So yeah, so for outros, Zardoz, who are you and where can we find you, or do you do anything, or what's up?
Oh, I'm on Twitter at Once and Future Doctor. From there, you can find my Instagram, my blog, my YouTube channel. I think I'm all over the place.
Woohoo! On the other side of me, on this screen at least, is Shay, because y'all moved.
Be like that
It
when
happens.
someone
It's
shuts
Zoom.
off a camera.
Yeah.
It happens.
So Shay, who are you in real life?
I'm actual Dracus, just as it appears in the chat. You can find me on Instagram and Discord. And yeah, that's about that. So
I just saw
know.
Arcane's
not
comment.
doing much else right now.
Now wonders if the unicorns are going to open a goth club. Oh wow. They could kill so many people that way.
Yeah. Feeding frenzy.
But they would the vampires would get cranky that they're muscling in on their bullshit. Because they also run goth clubs to feed. Also, there are not technically goth clubs in New York City. There's clubs, and then people promote goth nights. It's the whole thing. Anyway.
Then we could bet on who wins versus vampires and unicorns.
Vampires versus unicorns. It depends. Are they in a forest? Because if they're in the forest, the unicorns are going to win.
Well, yeah, there's stakes everywhere.
Yeah, that too. Unicorn horn as steak for vampire. It's not wood, but these unicorns do have the discipline. I am the forest is me. So,
That's technically wood in my book.
Oh my god. My cat's meowing at me again.
Would you call that kind of mission high stakes?
No. I hear a kitty. All right,
She's
Rianne,
very vocal.
Who are you in real life? Well, she's
Hi.
huge.
I'm Merc. I played Rianne this evening. The international nobody of mystery. And yeah, I'm Merc on the Discords. I like to watch Zombie Orpheus on Mondays. Come watch it. It's cool. Zombie Orpheus Twitch. Shit. Fuck. Well, there they all went.
Oh, look,
We're
your
done,
face.
Merc. We're done.
Fuck it.
Just so we're clear, I don't make any demands on my players for what they look like on stream, so long as it doesn't break terms of service. I did not make anyone do that.
It's a fun gag.
It's fun.
It's hilarious.
Fun to dress up as your character.
Like, I put on makeup because that's what I do. No one else has to do that. But yeah, so. And, Trix, Avis, who are you in real life?
Hi, I'm Trixie, and I have a very inactive arts Instagram because I can't get into a pottery studio at the moment. But if you want to find and see my pottery work, it's artsy_nerdling on Instagram.
Woohoo.
You can see all of my crazy pottery and nerd pottery that I do.
Nerd pottery. Nottery. Wait,
Nerd
no.
pottery. Oh, I have so much nerd pottery. I have some anime references. I have sci-fi references. I do it all.
The OBS is doing a thing that is annoying me. Oh well. Okay.
It occurs to me that Trix and I have been friends since middle school, and I think this is the first time we've ever been players together in a RPG, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, this is the first time. You've always been the person in charge of the game.
I DM a lot in our high school friend groups.
Alright. So again, thanks for joining us tonight on our crazy one-shot romp through the unicorn woods of Manhattan. It happened. I have no regrets. Except that my NPCs can't roll for shit.
I got
everyone has their days where they just can't roll. The dice hate them.
I'm a very permissive GM anyway. So yeah, next week, we are planning to be back with Exit to Eden, World of Darkness in Space. The week after that, I believe is Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yep.
So, we will not be streaming that weekend because Thanksgiving. Unless my plans to go hang out, go to my family's house for the holidays falls through because there's a COVID spike again, and my immune system doesn't work. So, and they all still leave the house for work. So, but yeah, and then we'll be back again the week after that, and that's November. And no other plans really for the holiday season, because we are just a one-show channel and pretty amateur at that, which is what makes this fun. And I hope we have given you a few hours of respite from the real-world apocalypse we are still living through, though maybe slightly less apocalypsy as of last weekend. Or as of this week. But yeah, and if we have inspired you to try your own amateur stream, so much more the better. We like having more friends, and more streams, and more games. So, yeah, and let me see, it is /raid. Let's go raid the Dice Cult. 50 minutes later than we usually do. So, yeah, it's been a week, so bye everybody! Come back next week, or watch the VODs, and send friends so we can be affiliates, and then you can have chat buy-ins into the game. Bye! And waiting for the raid. Wait, kitty!
Kitty!
Cat tax!
Cat.
Fat cat attacks.
And raiding now. Bye!